All right, guys, welcome to Popcorn and Gore Flicks. We are now going to go into some tapes. This is where it all started at for me. This is where all the nostalgia and all of the collecting things sort of took place. And like I said, I'm going to go over stacks and stacks with y'all guys. And this is going to be very, 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 very fun. Because it's going to be the most important part of the whole series is going through the entire collection nostalgia. And then also for the back, we also do have some titles too, also that I'm gonna be putting on the shelves and also below. So we're gonna get into it with a lot of everything that was kind of like put away. All right, guys. So first up, we're gonna do a couple of these titles here. So I'm gonna pick them up and we're gonna try to take them one by one and describe them. The Exterminator. Wow, where do I begin? All right, this is a part of where I was telling y'all guys because what happened, I had to do an opening, so which was pretty cool. So I think that will be more suitable for me to do that. All right, so we're going to be talking about the '80s and why I collected it and what uh, things that kind of made me want to kind of pick up these media and what each one of them means. Because when I pick up something, it's generally all the stuff that I normally like all in one wheel, and I'm picking them up based upon the experience. Sometimes what I do is when I go in the video store, what I do is I run it to see if I like it, and then I turn around and buy it. Like I said, I grew up wearing Ames, and we used to go to BlockBusters before, but actually before the time it was like most of the retailers that were selling it. So we would go into Ames and Caldors and we would shop and we would get all kinds of stuff like that. So a lot of that was part of my collection over the years. Predominantly went down. And I lost a few, but I also remained held on. Well, remained to held on to all of the other retro post-apocalyptic type of action sci-fi. So we got the Terminator, which is one of my favorites. I didn't like part two, but I liked it part one, so I actually just opted for that. So I'm just gonna go over a couple of titles that I do also, want to just highlight. Also, I had talked about Space Hunter, The Forbidden Zone. What I did like about that too, also was, I love Molly Ringwald and Peter Strauss was also my favorite. This is another one that survived out of the collection too. And it was crazy. Now, one of the ones I forgot to tell you, I'll describe that when I get to it, but these were always my favorite growing up. And then, so what happened was is now I'm building on this collection when it comes to the sci-fi action post-apocalyptic type stuff, and I'm adding them in, which I'm going to go over a list of why I'm going over them, and then what's the reason for the collection being displaced in some area. Because sometimes when I think one time when I moved, I did put them in another tub, and in another place where I was at, the basement had got flooded and it actually ruined some of the ones. So what you're seeing now are some of the ones that got sort of some damage. Now this one right here, the jacket got wet just a little bit on this one, as you can see. But nothing's wrong with the tape. The tape is just absolutely beautiful. And it was crazy because the tape didn't even get a lick of damage on it. The box just had a little bit of moisture on it. I think when it was kind of leaking on it, just had a few of them on it, which didn't even penetrate through the box. It just actually discolored the box because of the water, the water breaking down. So it didn't damage this. So that was pretty cool. So that survived. Moving on. And then now next. I didn't get the poster to this because I remember when this was in the store and they were offering that the promo was coming. During that time, I also saw the Wrath of Khan and Star Trek the movie and I think it was The Search for Spock. But this is The Voyage Home. I mean, I actually ended up getting it. As you can see, that shot right there was at the end when they first got there and they just landed in the water and it was crazy. Right over the Golden Gate Bridge. I thought this was a magnificent scene. And they were all right out there holding on to the goddamn ship, fussing about going on this journey to get, this whole thing done. I thought this was really, really badass. And this was the way to utilize Kirk because I'm a huge Captain Kirk fan. And like I said, I grew up watching all the Star Trek and stuff like that. As you can see right now, I don't know if y'all got to see it. Star Trek is And then you have bonus features and all kinds of other good stuff like that. So yeah, he's pretty much a huge fan when it comes to Star Trek. I mostly like I mostly like the original Kirk, because I do also have a lot of his too. But like I said, I'm just really focusing on all of my VHS. Apologize about the glare, guys. I just want to get everybody together so y'all guys gonna see me be able to go through each one of them and tell each one of y'all guys a story, because this is my nostalgic collection of how I'm bringing these movies in, and what I'm going through to get them. All right, so I told you a story about this one. Like I said, I didn't go to the movies to see it, but I end up did getting The Wrath of Khan, which I'm missing because I think that was the one that got destroyed, but The Search for Spock remained. Also, this is a sealed copy of Pretty Woman, which was pretty cool. I love Julia Roberts. Still see it? Because there's going to be some that's still sealed and some that's, out, because they all look pretty good. So I just wanted to highlight a lot of those too also. In the back, as you can see, you have the Good Times part right there too also, and I'll get to show you guys all the things that's going on. Now I told y'all guys too also about the Wizard of Oz. If you see my other video that I told y'all guys that this is the only surviving one that survived the collection of the storm, and as you can see, this is the place that I had it into. So all the other tapes from 131 were missing from my collection. This is the only thing that survived. I told the story about this on my last sort of upload, I guess. So y'all guys check that out on this video too also. It's under my surviving collection. But this is suffice anyway, because I'll still give you the story and I'll spin it kind of quick for you. I'm a huge fan of The Wizard of Oz when it first came out. A lot of the theatrics and the screenplay, because of course, I'm a independent film director, and I could pretty much now really looking at films totally in a different light. This is the reason why I have such an arrangement of a collection of the different span of different movies from different genres, because it represents my style and taste, and it represents me just having nostalgia to collect. But I didn't know that not only when I was going to be collecting these media forms of VHS, that it was going to blossom into a search hunt to get them back, because I was going to be losing some along the way. So it kind of scared me in a way that some of the ones I did lost. But I just find it mighty funny how on the entire shelf of all 132 that were missing, The Wizard of Oz survived the storm, and they're still untouched, and everything is still pretty cool on the inside. Just like, and I always rewound my tapes, once I got finished with them. And then they all really much stayed jackets of the same. All right, so now I remember to also, True Lies also do have Collateral Damage. I have just about all the Schwarzenegger stuff on VHS. But what happened is that I like the Jamie Lee Curtis, and I thought they were a good match. I also do have Eraser too, also, which is back behind this pile right here. Schwarzenegger and all them will be going back right there. What I'm doing right now is organizing all of the media and putting all the media as far as the VHS format, since I do have them surviving now. I went on a treasure hunt, so I'll tell y'all guys about the back stack. That's going to have a story of its own. But right now, I just want to highlight some of the features of what happened when I started collecting. And guys, the media that I'm showing you right now, the VHS tapes I'm showing you now, guys, are the surviving ones out of that collection that still remain. And this is my favorite part, because this was a iconic shot of them, and it happens at the end when she saves her. When he saves her, and that's pretty cool. And I thought this was a badass shot because her hair was blowing in the wind. It just made it look good. And it made Schwarzenegger look like he was the badass again, just like how he always was in The Terminator, just like he always was in T2. I mean, he just was giving it to us, and all his movies were good. But I remember going to Suncoast Video, and I fucked around, and I found a copy of Commando. And then I found another copy. I turned around and found Raw Deal, because Raw Deal was the one that was missing. So what happened was, and then I ended up losing them again. So I was like, wow. And then I blew a chance to get it on VHS. So I'm looking for them now. So I got all those on my target list. And what happens is I want an entire Schwarzenegger shelf with all the rest of the ones that was missing. Like I said, Commando and Raw Deal were big to me, because I had started collecting these, and these from a store called Ames here in the town I live in. Back in those days, in the early 80s, you could go in there and they would have tapes marked down. And their highest tapes were all their blockbuster hits. What I mean by blockbuster hits, guys, during that time, because I grew up in the 70s, and I remember going to these stores throughout all of the 80s and the 90s, searching for media, because I'm a serious collector. I have a lot of media here from a lot of boutiques, but my love is for VHS. This is what this channel is for. Guys, select that black button, click, 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 And don't forget, guys, let me know what I'm doing, and let's uh, show some media love, if you will, to VHS, because it ain't going nowhere. Guys, don't be worrying about what other people are collecting. Don't be sitting here too much and worrying about, trying to get at the latest thing. I mean, guys, just collect what you like, because from what I'm seeing on this thing, it's like everybody's telling everybody what to get, and everybody knows the whole story behind this. This is why I decided to just do this documentary and just break it down, because guys, when you're collecting, it's more not about just the jacket and where it looks. It's about the actual media. This is the reason why you're collecting. Guys, I try to keep in mind of the directors that made this. I'm an independent film director myself. Like I said, you guys don't really understand. Some of you guys do. But for those who don't really understand, don't just be collecting just for that purpose alone. If you're a nostalgia collector, if you call yourself one, you will realize and know that the actual media is what spawned this whole series. VHS back in the day were hard to get. If you did get one and you did want to have in your house, it was pure enjoyment. It was better than what you have today, especially with the streaming services, outlandish prices. Everybody's trying to get you into a subscription. It's like this is the ultimate time. And then I see now more people are gravitating towards that. But let's not lose focus, guys, of the nostalgia purposes of the collecting portion. Not just because the box looks good, not just because of the way the slipcover is. It's about the media. And True Lies is where it begins. So moving on to the second side. So we're going down the wheel. All right, so let's talk about The Abyss. I heard he's now releasing it on 4K. I guess y'all guys will be happy about that, because it was a huge deal about was he going to release it or not. I guess he's going to wait on and do it. But my thing was, this is a surviving one that I had out of my collection, and it made it. I did lose Leviathan and Deep Star 6, which I was totally pissed. So what happens is I'm getting them back. I'm going to show you guys the list. If you guys seen that last video I did before, I showed y'all guys the ultimate list of what I'm putting back. Guys, check that video, and don't forget to give me a like up and let me know what you're doing and what you're collecting as far as the VHS. I see all of you guys out there on the hunt. I see you guys are thrifting. This is what I want to see. You guys are finding good things. I'm totally happy with that, and I'll be happy to support you guys. And if you guys support my channel, click that like button, subscribe. Let me know I'm doing my job. But the Abyss is going to be one of those ones that's going to be always a double feature here, because I do have Leviathan and Deep Star 6 on my hard drive. I just need to have it on VHS. That way I can put that back. Now, what's going to happen is that Virus Jamie Lee Curtis was also on that shelf too, also, but she actually made it too, also. The one, that's why you didn't see her. You see these didn't get numbers on the top like I showed y'all the other one on the Wizard of Oz, is because these had just came in. I didn't get a chance to actually mark them down or put stickers on them for a placement. So these are all the newest ones that came in 90. What was it? I believe 98, 99 or something like that. I started assembling that shelf, because what happened was Canon Films started releasing a lot of things, and I noticed that Lightning Films, if I was lucky to get some Lightning Film labels, I was like very lucky. But I was getting a lot of Canon, a lot of Paramount, a lot of 20th Century. I mean, you guys will see, because I'm gonna be going through some of the ones here also lined up. But a lot of the TriStar Pictures. I mean, just about all of the major ones, but the rare ones was to get were back then. Those are the ones that were on that collection, as from number 100 all the way to 131. So far, Virus Jamie Lee Curtis, which is my favorite that had survived. Also, right there on that same shelf, we had Schwarzenegger. Already came through on time, because I actually found it in a thrift store, and it was a good combination to add, because I did have the original jacket was torn on the other one, so I just bought it just for the new jacket because my tape was good. So it was some things I didn't replace and some things I did. So the tape was just beautiful. But I noticed that when I was in a thrift store, they had a jacket, and plus the label was on the back. The sticker was on the back, which was pretty cool. I'm glad they didn't do it on the front, and I always show on or off on the front in all my collections. So, and then also, I think Soul Cinema at that time, I actually found it in a bin too. Also, I had found Foxy Brown, which was another one too, also, which was pretty cool. And then I have an entire Blaxploitation section right behind this right here. So y'all guys are going to see me go through this entire shelf and put all these media back up. And then I'll be showing off some of my 10s. My classic Good Times collection too also actually is on clamshell, which is one I'm really proud of. The Fruit Loops is the one I always take to school when I was a kid. This one right here, still nice and clean. Everything is already ready to go with it. And that was my favorite cereal next to Captain Crunch. So as we're moving down from the series, we have also Scarface, the box set. Mad Max, of course, my favorite. And Double Team featuring Van Damme and Dennis Rodman, which was my totally kick-ass back. and Blondie, containing there also 2 DVDs inside of the first 2 episodes. I also do have those. So it's going to be a lot of guys on the nostalgia. And then some of the ones I do also have back there, I'm going to be moving those out and putting those back in order. The ones that you see, guys, in the back area. And then this is the black exploitation section over here that I do have in the background. So it's a lot of media to cover for the VHS. And I wanted to make it very, very special because it was actually one of those ones that I kind of wanted to highlight because these were a lot of collecting over the years. And I kind of give credit to myself by putting things away in storage tubs because actually, guys, I'll tell you the truth, when the water had came in and it kind of flooded to my tapes, it kind of hurted my heart to so I'm thanking all y'all guys who showed me support on the last video because I was kind of like in a ranted mode because anytime something happens to your physical media, you kind of lose it in a way. You guys know, you guys are collectors. You know, you can't afford to lose one or get a scratch on any kind of jacket. And my thing was all about preservation. And I thought about just taking them out of the box and then putting them in tubs. And I actually went out to Home Depot and bought big tubs and put them away. Guys, everything that you see here was the one that survived. And all these tapes were sitting in a tub that was sitting in water that never got water in the tub. And it was the beautiful tape. And I still have that tub. I was going to show it, but because it was I had moved it to the closet, and it was crazy because that tub is what saved all this media that you see in front of you guys. And like I said, I'll be going through and you can see not a scratch of anything on or around or at least covering any of the areas. And yeah, so it was one of those ones, like I say, guys, that you would really, really feel proud of because, you know, it helps you get in that mind state of you know, getting your collection in order and getting things back. Guys, check it out. This is another one of my favorites too. Also, Animal House. I love John Belushi, and I love all the nuts that was in this one. And it was a total badass kick pack. And I just love it at all. Especially when he goes, tug, I remember seeing this. I said, I got to get this shit on VHS. And the guy was like, shit, I got it in the back. So I actually bought it, which was pretty cool. There's another thing too also, guys. Beetlejuice, this was on the same rack right there in the store, put out through Warner Brothers, of course. And they had it there in there too. And I grabbed this too also, which was pretty cool. And this is also survived. So everything I'm showing y'all guys are the ones that survived. Like I said, and I was happy because Beetlejuice was actually not actually damaged at all because when I pulled it out, wasn't no damage to the spine, no damage to the back, and the tape looks good. It was I rewind everything, and so none of the tapes were like, you know, damaged or anything like that. So, and everything was good, and the top label was still good. It didn't sustain any damage. And keep in mind, guys, you didn't see me label this because it just came in, and I didn't get a chance to label it. And we talking about then, guys, not now, but that was then when I was building the collection. I was bring them in and I would label them up, and once I labeled them, I would move each different one to the shelf where it would belong at because they were numbered and they were processed. That's like I had a processing the way I do things in here, and everything is kind of like sort of moving through assembly line, if you will. That was when I was cataloging that way. So now I keep my things in joiners, and it works out pretty good. So we're going to start going to some of the stacks that's also good. Actually, I had remembered now, since I'm putting out Legend, let me bring the Legend up. Because I had slept on this. I remember I had bought it. And this is another one that survived too also. And I remember this is fantasy adventure, post-apocalyptic type of stuff, right? So it's like, well, it's more fantasy. And I remember just watching the trailer and I said, wow, this stuff is pretty weird because I'm like, I don't remember ever watching this, and it was crazy because, I didn't even, you see, I didn't even rewind it. I mean, I didn't even watch it, still set the way it was. And this is what makes it badass, guys, because it's like, this is the nostalgia part that I'm talking about. And like I said, for me, my whole epiphany was like going thrifting in my own damn house, because when I found out that the tub was downstairs, because I had forgot, guys, this tub's been sitting in my closet downstairs for over 8 years. And then I have a dream, like, just go downstairs and get media. I'm like, in my dream, like, yeah, right. Yeah, I'm just going to walk downstairs and find half my collection. Yeah, right, sure. Guys, I woke up and I did, and I went downstairs, and there it was, the tub. And it was even marked VHS. And I started to panic right then and there when I actually started to knock the dust off the cover. And I just was like, just calm down, just calm down. You're going to see what you got. You're going to see what you got. And I was totally stuck. When I opened the cover, guys, they were all neat and clean, packed away in the tub, just neatly. And that's like, wow, guys. And it was crazy. So I was like, I got to do a documentary. I got to do something on my collection. I got to highlight more on VHS. I thought it was mighty funny, guys, how it seemed like no matter what's going on, it's the nostalgia purposes really bailed me out this time, because it's like almost like the collection rewarded me, because it knew I lost some things, but it also knew that by me being able to rekindle back to something would trigger the love over again. And this is where we are now. This is why I was so and so inspired to just actually do it. And then it turned out to be a entire adventure, because now I'm able to put them back in order in all the bins and have them all organized. And this is going to be a hunt, and y'all guys will be able to go through it with me. Guys, click that like button and subscribe for like what I do. And if you have any VHS epiphanies like I have, or even a dream, guys, leave that comment at the bottom. And guys, I'm so stoked out. I'm so blazed, because I did have a chance to get some good green. And I was like, guys, I'm just going to really do this and just like help me just kind of like mellow out, because this is going to be one of those ones where, it's going to be a long one. And it's also going to be a epic journey on just being able to just come in contact with some stuff. So I'm going to show y'all guys a little bit on each stack. So we'll go down before we start. And then I'll tell y'all guys about Legend, because it was kind of weird, because I haven't even seen the shit. And I remember buying it. I just didn't even watch it. I'm like, okay, what's that about? And then, like I say, everything is all set up, especially Lean On Me with Love I Do. All that's going into that section I have already. So I have some stuff already in order. I just got to put some things back into order where they are. And then looks pretty good. And there's a lot of these two also are TV series too also, especially that Lucy's Lost episode, because I thought I lost that, but I didn't. And then a nice good copy, guys, of Fame, which was totally badass. It's not even ripped or anything. No damage to the cover, not even anything. Guys, it's just totally amazing. I mean, wow, look at this. Keep in mind, guys, this is a whole collection I didn't get a chance to label. And this is not only that, too. Also, it was a lot of things that were, in here. I apologize, guys, about the glare, but yep. So we're going to be going through a lot of the ones, and this is that Lucy's episode. Lucy's Lost episodes. It's totally nostalgic. I'm a huge Lucy fan. So I have pretty much all of her stuff. So yeah, this is a show, guys, a few, and then this is also a copy of Imitation of Life too, also, which is my favorite too, also one of my ones too, also. That I kind of want to highlight. I'm just going to go through each one. I'm going to randomly pick, guys, because this way it'll be fair. Because I decided to just do it. I was like, am I going to go stack by stack, or should I just go random? Someone was like, just go random. Especially when you blaze, you can be able to just do all that. And then, like I said, you appreciate it more, because each one of them has a story to tell. And I didn't want to have them lined up about each different story and drag on to a script. I just got to just point and pick and pull it out. That's the way to do it. Okay, now over here, Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is one of my favorites too, also. I remember just getting this too, also. Still nice, good, clean jacket. Nothing's never done wrong to it. I always keep my stuff, clean. As I told y'all guys, I had them in the tub. And as you can see, there's no mold, there's no nothing. So I kept them clean. And my thing is that I didn't want to disturb the jacket. I didn't want my jacket spent or anything on it, So I kind of just made sure I kind of stayed away from that. And then, guys, also, we'll be going in that section right behind here also, Lean On Me. You're going to see me start to put them in piles, because they're already in piles now to pull out. And this is a nice, good copy too also, Warner Brothers. I remember getting this. The guy was like, shit, we have a couple of those in the back. I'm like, oh, you do? Yeah, and I hauled ass to the back. That was the fastest I ran to the back, because I know it's crazy. When I got there, I seen this, and I seen What Love Got to Do with Tina Turner. I bought them fucking both. And then this is the other one with Tina Turner that I was telling you about, because they had this one the same rack. I was like, oh, that's the fucking amazing right there. And there she was. I didn't get a chance to label her. And she was also in the box, but she was at the bottom too also, with a lot of stuff that was from this side over here. I'll show y'all guys what's going on in that section right there. But yeah, Tina Turner was right in there with the rest of them. Philadelphia and all the rest of the ones too also was there too also. And then also from this side, Fatal Attraction, which is one of my favorites too also. One of these ones that was pretty much one of my also good bangers. Was in that same cart too. Also, I believe, because the other ones that were in there too that I can remember that I don't have anymore, Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, Eddie Murphy 48 Hours, The Toy with Richard Pryor, Which Way Is Up, There's a couple of them was in that same lineup, that I normally had, but most of the Fatal Attraction stuff like that was in my same collection where I had like Julia Roberts and stuff like that, or where I had Pretty Woman. See, all those will go together. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a pile, and I'll show you guys where that's gonna go at. So now this is gonna go on top of that. So what you're doing is you're gonna build off back to the top, and you're gonna put them in joiners. That way they be already there. The one that's here, which is here, is gonna be the one that's gonna go on the very, very first shelf. Okay, so that will be starting over here, going this way, putting them in. The ones at the bottom will be the fill-ins of the joiners, which were already there, already in joiners. So each one that's in the back are already joiners. This is Black Exploitation. This is Sci-Fi Fantasy. This is Sci-Fi Action. And over here is slashers, code horror. So anything will go over there. Like if you go over there, like Joyride's over there. Just about everything's over there. This is what it's some of the ones that I had already organized already. Con Air, Code Up, Poetic Justice, Harlem Nights. And as you can see, Harlem Nights is going to go over to the other side over there. It's going to go, Harlem Nights is going to go, let's move down. Harlem Nights is going to go over here. And over here, you got School Days, Crooklyn, it's going to be going in that area. And in the back right there, I did have some VHS that I was already recording already. So I'm going to be taking those out and expanding on this section right here, because this is what's going to be going all back there. Now on this section right here, it's going to be the Mummy, and all the rest of the stuff as far as the action part of things right there. Like if you notice that Jeepers Creepers would go over here in the action side. As far as the thrillers and cults, Witches of Eastwick, Nutty Professor, Stripes, Stallone was going over here in this section over here, because that's the action where Collateral Damage is, Eraser, Desperado. That's more like the action shoot 'em up. So everything will have categories. Stripes is going over there too. Also, Demolition Man, like I said, Enemy Estate is going into a different area, because that's going to be like more of where different things are. I do have a collection downstairs, so if I don't have enough room up here, I will move down in that collection down there. That would be more like the CIA type stuff, as far as that type of stuff going on now. Sister Act, Sister 1, and Sister 2 is going to go downstairs too, also in the second category, because she's going to be down there with Rick Moranis, Julia Roberts, and all the rest of the stuff like that too. Also more on that side. Tyler Perry, she's going to be down in that section. Players Club goes over here in this section right over here. And the one at the bottom, that's going to go downstairs too. Also, The Princess and Me. Now moving over. Homeblown is going downstairs. Bad Boys going downstairs. Sleeping. All these right here are going downstairs. All these. Double Jeopardy stays over here, because Double Jeopardy is going to go over here. So we'll start separating that. So and then Philadelphia is going to go over there. The Mummy is going to go over here, on this section over here, next to. On this section right here, The Mummy right there. So, and then it was crazy because I think I got 2 copies of The Mummy, so that were way to go together. And Lean On Me is going over here in this section over there, and this is going down there. So now when we get to this section, American Pie, all of them are Coming to America, that's going over there. Boomerang's going over there. Face Off is going over here on this section over there, in between those ones right there. This one right here with Martin Lawrence right there, which is also my all-time favorite, that goes over there too, also on the Black Exploitation on the other side. 13 going on 30 is going downstairs too. Also, Stigma is going downstairs. Return to Paradise is actually coming over to where Pretty Woman and Julia Roberts is, and Fatal Attraction is going over that side. When We Were Colored goes over to Whoopi Goldberg's side, which is over here that you saw over there on the other side. That's going over there along with Color Purple. And Walking with the Clouds, Piano Lesson, and The Best Man is also going downstairs. Okay, now we have a split package over here because it's action and it's also drama. Also, it's going in here too. Miss Doubtfire is going downstairs. Sleepless Nights going downstairs. Speed's going downstairs. This whole entire section is going downstairs. There's one Clint Eastwood, which is over here too, which is still sealed too also, which I thought was pretty cool. Grease and Legend is also staying, I believe. So I'll be able to show more of that now. When I comes to Legend, because we're doing the sci-fi, post-apocalyptic, when it comes to this one right here, it's like I popped it in and I checked out the trailer. I was like, well, wow, this is pretty badass. So I started to create a flash drive. Next thing you know, I stayed up last night, created a flash drive. And I just got everybody on it from Barbarella on down to Galaxina, a brother from another planet. I just really unloaded it. And then I started to do a sword and sorcery type of file. This is how I got in contact with this. Guys, you got to check out Conquest. Conquest is really, really good. Yeah, You're the Hunter from the Future is also good. The Barbarian Brothers. I just really overloaded. Sisterhood, Warriors of the Wasteland, Phoenix, aka Wars of the was it Warriors? Yeah, Warriors of the Wasteland, because it's AKA over here it's Warriors of the Wasteland, but over in Australia it's Phoenix the Warrior, right? So what happened was is that just like Lorca and what is it? Forgot the name of the last title, but anyway, it's basically called Starship. So it was, that was one of my favorites too. Also, I added that today, and also 1990 A Bronx Wars. I added what was it? America 3000. I mean, just a lot of the stuff that I had automatically just added to the collection. So we're gonna be taking some of them apart and actually setting up things and getting everything automatically put into the genres, and then some of the sci-fi would start to go in, and we start on this side right here. So I just wanted to show you before we start. I want to show you guys my Blondie box. This is the one, that I that came with the 2 DVDs too also. And it's also a good way to carry your food during those times. Because it was one of those ones that you could get. I had to take a couple of thumbnails. And then it pretty much lasted pretty good. And as you can see, I kept it in mint condition. It's my Blondie box. Pretty proud of her. This was always I had my cereal in the morning, and I would put all my lunch and carry Blondie to school. And it was crazy because people was like, my homeboy was like, you got Blondie, dude? I'm like, yeah, I like Blondie. He goes, okay, who's the better out of Blondie? I was like, I thought he was going to say something crazy. He goes, okay, who's better? Cookie or Blondie? I was like, they both are serious. I love Cookie and I love Blondie, of course. But they both are hilarious together. So I had to really, really rock. And he was like, dude, you really killing me with the lunchbox. Because I had my little sandwich and my little stuff in there. I sit down and I open it all up. And then the whole time I'm sitting there watching a movie, or my little drive. You can carry your little drives at the time when we were going to school. And I put some movies on it that I had recorded. And it was kind of crazy because my buddy was like, dude, he's like, you can hook it to like a laptop. I was like, no, dude. I said, if they came out with the technology where you can this was back then now where, we could have movies like, on a smaller tablet, like, I'm totally in. So this is why I always laugh now because back then, if we could just carry our media around, it was kind of cool. Only way you were carrying anything around, if you have a Laserdisc player, you were carrying your Laserdisc player. If you had a VHS, you were carrying that. If you had a CD player, you would be carrying that. If you even had a reel, you could carry that. But a lot of my people, a lot of my friends who collect, they really are really serious. And it's crazy because when we all found each other, we all started to just talk about, the highlights of why we collect and what made us really, really getting into collecting and how we really started and what our influences were. That's why I just want to share you guys a little bit of that nostalgia. This is also my other fan favorite, of a treat. And this one was actually, love that thumbnail. And then one here. Perfect. So, like I said, my real favorite is Captain Crunch, but Fruit Loops for me were like my ultimate. So what I do is I'll switch my box. So instead of carrying Blondie all the time and having the same old one, I will just switch it up. So that way I won't be kind of tired of just, having, just that one, box and be restricted to it. And it's like, it was crazy. Now, at the time, I wish I could have got a Captain Crunch box, but I really didn't see one. And I was kind of really, really mad about it because I was like, damn. But like I said, I got the Fruit Loops and still really in mint condition. And I still had a sticker on it when I bought it. And everything's ready to go. And it's like it's my ultimate, collection piece, So yeah, collecting tens is another one. So okay, so we're gonna start putting some media up on the shelf. So actually, what we know goes up first, or what we're doing over. So then before I go over that, I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of what got that started and what's going on or being added to the new collection. You guys, I remember before that if you haven't seen the last video that I had told y'all about the list, the infamous list of all the media that's coming in, and this is gonna join all of the sci-fi, adventure. And it's not only going to join the actual adventure section, it's going to actually, go back into my collection, basically just replacing the tapes that I had lost before. So I'll just go over that list with you again. Y'all guys remember if you watched the last video, I had went over the ones that I'm actually getting. So what I do this, I just want to go over each one of them again individual. Charlie 2000, Metal Storm, Jared Sin, and I chose the format to also Blu-ray and VHS, and I'm choosing it on any format for Charlie 2000 because what happened was is they did have Charlie 2000, but it was a region 2. So I'm trying to hopefully get this on VHS or any format I can. Hands of Steel, I have it on my hard drive, but I now want it on DVD and VHS, so I had to put on here VHS. And with that, because what happens is Hands of Steel is going to be in front of Galaxy Warriors, and Galaxus is going to be in front. Actually, Galaxus, all these are going to be Hands of Steel, Warriors of the Wasteland, and Galaxus is going to be at the same time. And She Wolves of the Wasteland too also is going to be on there. That's what it is, aka Lorca and the Outlaws. That's the name of that. But over there, it's called Phoenix the Warrior. All right, Chud. I used to have this on VHS back in the days, but I lost it. So what happens is I'm hoping to get it on either of these two ones too also. Keep in mind, Deep Star 6 and Leviathan was also mixed because I had those on VHS. The only one survived was The Abyss, which I'm like, oh shit, it was crazy shit. Wow, Deep Star 6 and Leviathan went to the Deep Star bottom of my collection. The Abyss, which was the deepest of the deepest, actually survived. Ain't this crazy? I thought that was kind of weird. My buddy was like, okay, you have a weird way of looking at it. I'm like, yeah. Instead of going halfway down to the Leviathan or going all the way down to Deep Star 6, you could go ahead on and travel through the Abyss, which is kind of weird. He was like, okay, but explain that to me. I'm like, look, deeper you go, the better it is, right? He goes, okay. He goes, I said, imagine if you're going on an exploration. And I thought for me that keeping all those three were together, this is what I was trying to get him to understand, that it was the Abyss that survived, but Deep Star 6 and Leviathan didn't make it. And it was crazy because I only had them on VHS. I didn't even have them on DVD. That was the crazy part about it. So I'm like, oh shit, not only was the only copy that I had, which was the VHS, was gone, I had to fight back hard to replace those two. So now I'm in a position to place those two. And they will join over here with the Abyss. And we are putting them all on that spot right there. So now that we know, the first one that goes in is the Abyss. And guys, I got it all blued up because I want it to be this undersea type of thing. And I got it all lit up. And then, so there's the first one that goes on it. So we're going to work our way down the line. So that way, when I'm doing this, guys, that's my way of advertising things. I do not keep things in alphabetical order in here. I always keep my stuff in genres in here. And I just kind of separate each one because what I do is I do what's called wheels. And then those wheels will determine what's playing tonight. Like for right now, if you go over to my Turf from the Basement site, guys, if you're on Facebook, click that like button over here. Let me know I'm doing something good. But if you're on my Facebook page, guys, click it, check it out because I always post all my trailers there. And all my trailers of all of these media that you see here, plus other media that I do cut and all the other stuff that I do have to show off, guys, is always on there. I'm uploading. Tonight's feature will be Vigilante, starring Fred Williamson and the rest of the goons. It's going to be crazy because I'm on this exploitation 80s over there. And over here, I'm sci-fi post-apocalyptic fantasy, which is pretty cool. So now I'm separating all of my drama and moving them out because, like I said, the collection was random when they were put away. And because it was a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. So I'm able to separate them things, which is pretty cool. And like I said, a lot of the ones that were really, really in the lot were not too bad at all. I mean, it was just more of a, are you going to even see them again type of a deal to me. So that's why I'm like, wow. So what's in front of you guys are really the part of the surviving collection. And let's go down to the others. Okay, Lork and the Outlaws, which is the one I told you before, aka Starship. I kind of want this on VHS 2 and DVD because what's going to happen is I'm going to show it off on the VHS. It's going to be going right over here on this section here. Okay? So everything on this list right here is going to be going on the first couple shelves, working our way into sci-fi post-apocalyptic. The way I got it set up, it's supposed to take up 12 spaces, which is what that can hold over here, 12 spaces. I got them in stacks of 15. Each stack is 15. So that lets me know how many I need to go to. And keep in mind, some of them are going out to another collection downstairs, so they're not going to make it all on the shelves. Even mind that I'm dealing with the top and the bottom at the same time. So that's what's going to be difficult about this, which is, well, actually not so much difficult, but it's going to be more of a journey because I'm not only really separating them, but I'm moving them into areas where they weren't in before, you know. And I think to make that happen is pretty badass, especially for the space that you have. And then I also did some moving all around to also on that side over there. I actually organized that. Over the side, I did add a lot of Stay Puft, and I moved those over. I actually did that media over again too also, which is the one over there, as you can see, going over to the top. I also did added another shelf to that bottom, by the bottom end piece, which made it look, pretty badass towards that type of a shelf. And actually going across the 5.1 bar that you see right there is the whole entire sound for this entire area. I do also have HV cords connected to both, so which means I can have multiple multiple audio inputs on that one bar, and it will actually spit it out. And it's looking badass right now. On the Star Trek fix right now, you have the Star Trek the movie playing. So yeah, that's gonna be one of the ones that's gonna be playing, today. And then a lot of it that's on there are the ones that are really set up to be pretty good, And then that's my remote for that. So what I do is I click it, and then there she goes. So that way, this is pretty cool because I can jump from my flash drive over to my DVD drive, and I can jump back to flash drive, and I got them all in the color codes down at the bottom where I can just go in and out of all my auxiliary inputs, which is pretty cool. I have everything on source, which means all I got to do is check the input. The VCR goes out to the VCR, which is where you showed me those two before. I showed y'all two before, those two bottom. That audio is coming back in. And then the video is going back, converted from RCA to HDMI. So it's actually pretty badass the way how it's set up. And a lot of it really stems from me just being able to connect, to the input. And then this is how I change the input there. That's how I changed the input there. And what happened is that I just connected now to the virtual drive, which is in the bottom. And then a lot of them are some of my VHS trailers that I did have from that same series that I did have. So all I'll do is I'll stop it. And I'll input another remote. All right, so now we have Star Trek the Motion Picture in the background. Everything's already set up, looking pretty badass. On the side, we have Stay Puft. And on the other side, we have Woody. So this all pretty much set up. It's a nice, good shot right there. And I'm pretty proud of how that area came out. Like I said, I had everything already set up. Tonight, it's going to be, like I said, Vigilante playing. And then, because last night, it was Star Trek. And it was Star Wars. And then tonight, double feature along with this one right here, the feature. We're going to be having The Empire Strikes Back. So, yeah. So we have a lot of, everything that's going on as far as the classic cinema. And I try to mix it up too sometimes too also where I do have other different stuff that I'm watching too far as my fantasy type stuff. And I think that having a mix of, fantasy films kind of really inspires me because I kind of watch films to inspire me kind of in a way to get me set up and started writing some scripts and stuff like that. So Gene Roddenberry is one of my favorite directors, and his films are always, legendary. And I look forward to always studying his concepts and just watching all of he does. Especially his story mind. It's always kind of like elusive because he takes you boldly where no man has gone before. And that's what I love about him. And his graphics are always out of sight. All right, guys, so we are back to the infamous list again. So now we're moving down the list because we did She-Wolves of the Wasteland, which is a.k.a. Phoenix the Warrior. Now, what happens is with this one, I kind of want this one, She-Wolves of the Wasteland, along with Lorca and the Outlaws, because them two are going to come together. They're going to be from, one's from Cheesy Flicks, so I'm going to have to order that. Galaxy of Terror, I already have this already, and Forbidden Planet I also had, and it wasn't supposed to be in Forbidden Planet, it was supposed to have been Forbidden World from Roger Corman. What happened was I was supposed to order that on Blu-ray, so I made a mistake because I already have the original Phantom Forbidden Planet by Leslie Nielsen, and there's also a Phantom Planet too, also that came out in the 50s. I also do have that. So I'm good on my classic sci-fi. I'm just trying to replace all of the all of the VHS tapes that I lost and getting them back on VHS and along with other formats too to reinforce the collection. So Forbidden World I already have. And Planet of Dinosaurs, I'm ordering that too also because these two are coming from Cheesy Flicks, this one and She-Wolves of the Wasteland. Both of these two I'm ordering at the same time, so I actually got a hold of those two, so I'm going to be ordering those from Cheesy Flicks. Star Crash, she also was on the Roger Corman collection. So Star Crash and Forbidden World, those two go together. So I'll be ordering those two, and those two are Blu-rays. Okay. And over here, the Phantom Empire. So I had scratched it out to it wasn't the Phantom Planet. I had to do another re-edit. It was by Sybil Downing. That's why I had wrote her name before to make sure that I stayed on that side. I kind of crossed that out. So like I said, I've been over this list twice. Or last night, I've been up since last night just doing all these. So it was based upon this right here, Forbidden Empire, what goes there. Also, Hercules, starring Luther Rigno and Sybil Downing, because those two go together. So I try to keep Sybil Downing together. What happened was, in that same time, I had to switch over to Bridget Nielsen because I had lost some of hers too. Eddie Murphy's Cop, Beverly Hills 3, L.A. Bounty, which I didn't have before, but I do want that on VHS. Another one too, also from hers too. Also, I need to get that too from Bridget Nielsen, and then and Galaxis, because I have to get that too also, because I do also have it on other format through Mill Creek, but I kind of want to get it in a higher Blu-ray release. So if that's available, that'd be pretty good. But Luther Rigno, he's the only one I chose because he goes with Sybil Downing, so those two go together. And then over here, Raiders of Atlantis, I want to get that on Blu-ray because what happens is I'm going to have that hooked up with Warriors of the Wasteland, the Desert Warriors. All those are on my hard drive already together. I got the trailers already cut for them. They're actually rolling right now. Guys, if you're on my Facebook channel, check me out at Turf in the Basement. This is where all my trailers go to. So it's a huge trailer wheel. Like I said, tonight will be Vigilante, Robert Foster, and Fred Williamson. All right, so moving on, we got Stryker. We got the Sisterhood, which I already told you about before. It's going to be in any format. The New Barbarians also is going to go on that shelf too. Also, Virus. You've seen I already have Virus already over here on the VHS. So we're going down that list now, okay? So that means now that Virus checks off and Virus goes over here. You see how this works, guys? It's an easy organizational type of a situation. It helps you clean shelf. Now keep in mind, I only collect what I like, and what I have in order here is all of what is in my rotational list. So all right, so we went all the way down to Virus, which I already put on the shelf. You're the Hunter from the Future has to be got on Blu-ray or DVD or VHS. 1990s, A Bronx Warriors has to be got to also, because that's going to go in there with Fred Williams and stuff. I do also have Black Caesar. I also Hell Up in Harlem. What is it? All the rest of his stuff, it goes in the Black Exploitation section. I have 2 Black Exploitation sessions. I started off, if y'all guys see my last video on my channel right here, you guys check it out. All my 70s cult horror and my 70s cult action. All is all on there. I did 2 wheels on that. Guys, check that out. Also did a ultimate Doll Super Vixen to all the classic Grindhouse sleazy trash. I did a whole entire wheel on that. And that's an entire 70s collection, guys. Check that out. And then you'll be caught up to speed on far as my 70s, because I'm doing them in categories of the years, so that way I help keep up. Right now we're 80s and 90s, but we're only doing VHS. Guys, already so far, it's now going on my 2nd month. This is going to go all the way to April, because this whole entire collection is going to be, like I said, a lot. My birthday's coming in April, so I hope to be able to get out there to get some thrifting done to try to see if I can find more. So I'm basically doing this twice. I'm actually ordering from Amazon, ordering from eBay, and going out thrifting at the same time, trying to help put this collection back. Right now with this list are all the things that are missing. And it'll be an easy peasy to just knock them off. Like I said, I'm putting them on the shelf for the ones I do have that survived out of the collection. They're going to go across. Now, Pam Gray is going over here because Exploitation is behind that side, so she'll be over there with those. A few of those going downstairs into my collection downstairs. Of course, Jeepers Creepers goes over there because that's going to be the slasher stuff over there. Lord of the Rings goes down there behind it. So each pile is where it's going to be going at. Double Jeopardy is actually coming over here. So let's take Double Jeopardy out. Because what's going to happen is the rest are going downstairs. And since I already have a copy of The Mummy up here, I can take a copy downstairs. Okay, so Double Jeopardy. Tommy Lee Jones. I'm a huge fan of Tommy Lee Jones. I love this damn film. This film is actually one of the ones that I also do like already. Off the top when I actually had checked it out, because I like a lot of stuff too also. I'm going to tell you another good film too also. The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane, Jodie Foster. I also do have her, but I didn't have it on VHS, because what happened was that I forgot to go back and get that because I was too busy worried about Jamie Lee Curtis. Because at the time she was driving flicks, and I just kind of had to just her up and just buy her stuff because I didn't want to get it where it was it was looking too bad, as far as let me make sure I change the menu up real quick because I seen I had these special features on, so let me turn that. Okay. Okay, none. And click play. Because I have it already set up, so I just actually set it up already. I actually had to click the blue button. So now it's already set up already for the ratio. And I love how Spark was because it was like Spark was the ultimate. And this was my favorite scene right here because, with his mother, he had to go back to see his mom. And I was kind of really, really into this one. And it actually was like pretty, pretty cool. And I guess she's speaking Vulcan to him, so they had the little translator on it, which was pretty cool because you would want to understand too also because it was like they were talking in their language. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then from there I switched to the Wrath of Khan, and I ended up losing it. Yeah, so Double Jeopardy. It's going definitely over there, which is my favorite because I'm a huge Tommy Lee Jones fan. And like I said, it was a story behind this one too. Also, you see, it didn't get labeled, but it was actually pretty cool. Because, like I said, when it came in, I kind of wanted to just really just have a section of drama and action suspense. So I just kind of created it. So it goes over here next to Fatal Attraction, which means that those two go together. Now, Pretty Woman goes at the top. Keep in mind, you're building up from that collection. Then Pretty Woman will be at the top once your pile gets all the way up. And then you just go through random and you're going to just go from genre to genre. You're going back and forth. Somebody told me about this too. Also, I'm going to show you about American Pie. Oh, yeah. That goes over here in that section over there. So I'll show you guys where that goes. What I'll do is I'll just create a pile and move them over to that area. And you're working the stack by stack. Now, American Pie 2 also was good. One of my friends found this thrifting. Not this one, but he found one like this. He's from Kansas, and he found it in the thrift. And he was like, oh, wow, I actually found a copy of it. I was like, wow. I was like, dude, I had my original copy still to this day, and it was kind of, and it never kind of got tore up. And it was always a badass copy, you know what I mean? Just like, wow. But this one, I didn't rewind. Because what happened was is that I had remember watching this last because I was doing like this comedy thing. I had my friends over, and we were going to watch the movie. So I just doing American Pie, and it was kind of cool because I did a John Belushi night with Rick Moranis, and I just doing a bunch of comedies like Animal House, all that kind of stuff like that. So all this is going to go in that area. The Blues Brothers, all those are over here behind that. Actually, the Blues Brothers are over here. No, the Blues Brothers are right behind that stack right there. So it goes in that area right there, along with Naked Gun 2.5, and others too. Also, they'll be going to that area too. So that way everything will be set up. And the majority of the rest of them will go downstairs. Now, over on this pile right here, we also know where this pile is going because obviously I had kind of got it set up. Dracula did and loving it, and we know where Legend goes. Legend is going to go over here with these three because now we have another pile, and this pile right here is the adventure pile. You see how we're working it? You're just going to work the wheel and go all the way and work. I call it the wheel. You just work the wheel and you're grabbing from stacks to stacks, being able to organize them instead of having all the meters all thrown to the floor, picking from here, putting over there. It'll help you do it real good. And like I said, let's get back to this list right here because this is what's coming in. Now, we just left off with Virus. We're putting them on the shelves as we do it, guys. Click that like button and subscribe if you like what I do. And this is going to be a nostalgia portion. I apologize, guys. I haven't been doing a video in a while. It's because I've been busy getting all these things backed up on flash drives and making all these orders to try to get all these VHS back on order. And I'm so happy that I can utilize the whole entire shelf now that by putting all the VHS on it, I can be able to show off both of my two tiers from left to right of all my other media that I do also have too also, which is now growing because it actually was really, really bad too also all the way to the top. And then don't forget, guys, my huge Night of the Living Dead poster. And then over the top, when you see that side there, I just started to really just branch over that side right there, Julia Vault from Bitch Slap, and I just added some Mill Creek 50 box sets to the top and just started moving genres around. Over at the top over there, you see more of the dark noir on this section over there. And majority of the ones over there is like the Star Trek side. That's what we're working on right now. That's up there is classic sci-fi, so we're not over on that side. But what happened is I pulled a few out. Spark, what we're seeing right now, this one right here, the Voyage Home. I mean, Star Trek the movie right here. We watching that now. I also had Star Trek the movie, which is down here. That'll also be going over there next, since we're talking about that. And then over there is an action adventure. Xena, Spartacus, just about everybody's over there. Hercules. I mean, just Game of Thrones. I mean, just about everybody's over there on that shelf up there. Now on the top classic, how far behind Lost in Space. I also do have also my Doctor Who stuff. And then all 50s and 60s sci-fi, all my 50 box sets, Lost in Space, Devil Girl from Mars. I mean, that thing is just loaded over there. What was it? The Day the Earth Stood Still. From Hell It Came. I mean, just about everybody's over there. Everybody's over there. And then over here, of course, you know my classic box sets, for as the classic TV series, another TV series over there. And then also down to the bottom of mostly the Gilmore Girls and stuff like that. So I'm working the shelves. Right now, I just want to kind of concentrate on nothing but VHS to get this entire shelf organized and put away. So now we're moving across. So now we know that this pile right here is going to go over to this section right here. Action will go here. Adventure will go there. Black exploitation will go here. Over here at the bottom over there, we have mostly the thrillers and action suspense would go over on this section right here, or anything that's kind of like more of an action base with a little drama in it would go on that section right there. Like for instance, let's say just to show you guys what one, Speed would go there, just to give y'all guys an idea of what will go there. Okay. Shaft would go over here in the black exploitation because he's going to go over there. Like I'll say, for instance, Backdraft would go over here. No, I'm sorry, Backdraft will go over to this side over here because it's more on that. On this side right here, more the action. So Backdraft will go here along with, because I do also have some more by Arnold Schwarzenegger too. Also have End of Days. I also have, like I said, Collateral Damage. I also have, what was the other one by him? True Lies. I also do have Stigma. So all Stigma will go over, on this side right here. And then over here is more, no, actually Stigma will go over here on that side. Dracula Dead and Loving It will also go downstairs because I have a collection downstairs for those kinds of romantic comedies. All of those will go downstairs because there's a whole entire section for that. Lean on Me will go over to here, which is the black exploitation. So you're working in the way Jeepers Creepers, since it's a thing that will go over there. So you can be able to move Jeepers Creepers over there when I get to that section. You'll move right over there. Now the Professor and all of the Sister Act and all them will go downstairs because there's a section for that. He will go downstairs too in action. And then Home Alone 2, of course, will go down there, and all the rest of the Parents and the Mummy, the extra copy, will go downstairs to my bulk. And then all the TV episodes, Fame will go over here too also, because that's going to be on that too. I keep that in the black exploitation because I kind of grew up on that too also, and it was more like it was a classic thing. So I kind of got that too also in exploitation / sort of like an action, thing. So I keep that over there in that area right there because I think it belongs in that area. The Long Kiss Goodnight. The Long Kiss Goodnight will actually go over to this side over here. And the reason why, it will go on this side right here because what happens is that it's going to join other featured films too also that I got coming over there too. And if you come over here, that Home Alone, all those two down there, Soul Food, all those are going downstairs. There's another collection for all these down there. That's why I kind of organized this one already. The Three Stooges, Good Burger, this one right here too also. That will I'm actually create a pile for all of those. So actually you can just take those off even though you're moving them around. I kind of got them at the top. So I pretty much stopped. Bridges Praise, all these go downstairs. So all the rest of these stay at the top, these three right there. They're going to be in my TV box shows because they're close to the TV box set show series. So I'm just keeping them on this side at the top. That's why I got them all dropped off. Lucy 2 also will be over there. You see, Imitation of Life will go over to to this side over here. Because what happens is that I kind of cross-join over that, and right behind Imitation of Life, I'm going to be having Jodie Foster's The Little Girl Who Lived Down the Lane is going to be next to that. Okay? So Sister Act and all those are going downstairs. And then over here on this one, Sparkle's going downstairs. The Players Club is actually going over here in the black exploitation on this side right there. So that's why I got it close to that. And then, like I said, Philadelphia Experiment. Well, the Philadelphia, because it's a movie too. Philadelphia will be going over there because it's also color purple on that side right there. And then, like I said, Mommy downstairs, and Tina Turner will go in there, and Lean On Me will definitely be over there too also. So that's will show y'all guys how they're going to be added at Bad Boys are going downstairs too also. And just showing you guys that I didn't really miss anything. This one's right here is going downstairs too. Also, forgot to tell y'all. So America, Coming to America is going over there. American Pie is going over here. So we got them all set up. And Grease too. Also, Grease is a classic one, so they'll be going over here too. Also in this section, it will be going on there along with Fame. So I'll be organizing that and getting that set up. So this is now we have our drama section right here with these two. Pretty Woman will be on the top, and then for right now, we're organizing all of these right here. This goes over into Black Exploitation too. So now we got our fantasy action adventure, which goes over there. And actually, see if you look at what's over there. It's already set up already. Blazing Saddles, all the kind of good stuff over there. And I also do have Stargate, Red Planet, a lot of other good ones too also that is going on that pile. And I got them right there to let me know what section that they are over there so I won't forget. All right, so we are moving down. We went from Bronx Wars 1990, starring a lot of good actors too also. I kind of going into my fantasy sort of adventure list now, and post-apocalyptic too. I kind of mixed the two together. Android was good too also. Cyborg 2, I have Cyborg 2 already on DVD. I just need to get her on VHS. I'm just looking for a case for her because the case didn't survive, but the DVD did. So that was good. Escape from the Bronx, I didn't have that at all on any format, so I'll be able to get this too also, and I kind of want to have this along with the Bronx Warriors and have those two together. And then for what happened was that I did a cross-link, and I actually threw in Raiders of Atlantis. So that's what made it really, really bad. So you got Escape from New York, you got Escape from the Bronx, you got Escape from, the 1990 Bronx War. It's kind of almost like that Damnation type stuff. And you got the movie called Damnation too also, Damnation Alley. That's going to be coming too. This one right here, Exterminators of the Year 3000. I need to get that too also on other format. She, featuring Sandy Bergman. I also got to get that too also. On Blu-ray. And then Body Count, this was featuring Bridget Nielsen. I also have to get this too also, along with LA Bounty. Those are the two ones I'm missing because I always do Sandy Bergman. I also do both Bridget Nielsen, and I also do all of my space women together, and Sybil Downing. I always do those three together, so I keep them always together. Escape from Galaxy 3, I do have this on DVD. I need to get this on VHS or any other format that they may have. So this is an entire list that has to be put back. And as you can see, an entire 29 VHS or DVDs or Blu-rays has to be put back in order for this collection to move forward with the second process of putting them all on the shelf. So now that we know where a lot of these were on the shelf, we know what classification that they go in. Just so for right now, you know that definitely that this would go next. You see? But you're doing it too also for the sci-fi fantasy. So you're doing sci-fi post-apocalyptic on this side, adventure, all both together. So this will go next on the shelf. Okay? And you're just working your way down the wheel. And you know now that Schwarzenegger goes next. It's easy. You're doing it. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. And you're just working your way down until you get all of the ones that are on there together. And the next up you're going to do, for that side, since it's adventure, action, sci-fi, you're going to do it 3 ways. Because keep in mind, Wiscom has to go down there with that. So you don't want to cross join us too much. So what you're doing is you're going to bring up Red Planet. Okay. Okay, and you're going to also bring up Supernova, because what happened was that she had released hers too also when I think it was this other movie came out too, because I actually read it too also. Aliens of the Deep. No, I'm sorry, Deep Impact. No, not Deep Impact. It was Lords of the Deep. That's what it was. I'm also missing that too. Next, it's going to go along with Leviathan, Deep Star 6, and actually it's going to be right over here in this file right here along with, so as soon as Deep Star 6 comes in and Leviathan comes in, they'll be going right over here, and Abyss will be right there. Next thing you know, Lords of the Deep will be there. You see, so Supernova, it goes there too also. So we put her there, okay? And then we also have too. Also another one too. Also Val Kilmer. I thought he did a good job too. Also in this one, Red Planet, which is also my favorite too. Also, I remember getting this from the actual. I think I got this from Earl's Video, I believe. No, I got this from Ames. I'm sorry, I got this from Ames. Yeah, because I remember the sticker there. Yeah, I got this from Ames, and still was pretty good. All my stuff, stayed in good collection. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put that over on the top. And as you can see, I didn't get a chance to name none of these. That's why I'm putting them on the shelf, because now they're in order. Now they're going in order, as far as how I'm putting them together. You see? And then also, of course, this since this got wet, it still survived the case. It's not it messed up. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna replace the case on this because the movies are still good. It never got damaged or anything like that. So what I'm gonna do now is actually put that on the shelf, because that goes next. And then what's gonna go next on this shelf after that is Warriors of the Wasteland. It's gonna go next right beside that. You see? But for right now, since I already have this already set up, this goes next. Exterminators, because this one actually going next to because I found this actually too in a nice good bin when I went thrifting. I found this one too, also was pretty good, and I got it a good deal, because instead of $5, it was actually 50 cents, which was pretty cool. I'm like, oh wow, the jacket was good. So I was happy that my jacket didn't never get messed up since the first time that I got it. And I remember getting this a long time ago in this thrift store, and then I was glad that they had it, because I needed to have this to go with Lady Terminator. And I'll be getting that on VHS too, also, which is pretty cool too. I gotta have her, man. That girl's bad, man. And I'm gonna have her hooked up with other females too, also, like Miss 45. I'll be getting that. I'll be getting, what was it, Savage Sisters. All that kind of Southern exploitation I already got, but I want some of those on VHS. That way I can show those off on the shelf. All right, so this goes over there too. So guys, we're getting there. All right, so now we know that this goes there too, because we know that checked out too also, because we know that this is the only surviving Kirk that was on that inside. So we do it, and we do it by labeling up first, and we have that put there. All right, so now we know that these two go next. See, it's not bad already. And this shelf is getting pretty good. We're organizing all the way down to the T. All right, so this goes in black exploitation, so let's move that there, so we know where that goes. And then as we're going along more and more, as we're getting to them, you can come out of the joiners too also by actually doing a different way of just putting them up there. Like for instance, that we have a collection down there going on, or we have a collection over here going on, and we know where half of them, pretty much to go at. If it gets to where the collection is overflowing, I'll start moving them to the top. So for now, I got them in piles where everything kind of goes. So it's going to be a really, really treat. Now keep in mind, the Mummy goes downstairs. So since I have two copies, I have one copy downstairs, I had to put another Mummy next to the Mummy. Down there. Okay. And then, I'm sorry, this goes down there. Yeah, that goes down there. That goes actually to the first shelf, because what happens is that we're doing Fantasy Adventure 2. And also what happens is with this one, we can take out this one. And then the other one, I'll think about that. The Terminator may move. That may go over here with this one over there with the Terminator. But yeah, Blazing Saddles. I remember when I got this too also, because I kind of wanted to have it along with my Funny kit. So I started collecting those too also. They were available at this store called Ames. And what they had like where you can get the tapes. And you can get them at a nice good retail price, because they were not only marking them down, but they just wanted to kind of get rid of some stuff. And it was pretty cool, because it was like they had good selections of movies, and the movies that they were having was a lot of Warner Brothers, a lot of Paramount. So I was like, I'm start collecting these now, because they're going to be like really, really into something. So like I said, these are the ones that survive out of my collection. And guys, I had this tape for years, and it was pretty cool. And like I said, I bought them around the same time. That's why if you look at them, a lot of the good directors that were coming out were always, really, really coming out with good media. And, yep, it was pretty cool. So I always keep my comedies together. So it's going to go in my comedy section. But the comedies is going to be like mostly like I'm going to set them up so as we know where they go at, we can start putting them right there. Because that's where that section's going to, that's going to be like most of the comedies. And we're going to move those two according to how we have the selection. So, Beetlejuice goes there because Beetlejuice goes in the next side of the area too also. We're going to do it spine up. So Warner Brothers, Paramount, I try to keep them all together. TriStar Pictures, Miramax. Usually I try to keep them all together because most of their usually comedies are on those boutique labels. So you never know what you're going to get. These two are going for black exploitation. So I have a black exploitation sort of collection right here going on. And then we're moving on next to just having some of the things put in. All right, so we know action adventure is going to be over here on this section here with True Lies. So what we'll do is we'll move facing downward inward. Let's turn it around because we know this is like the kick-ass section over here. And then we know that Scarface goes next, right? Oh yeah, let me show the Scarface, huh? Next to Desperado. And those two go on the end because I have remember where they go at because I actually set it up before. And what happened was that when I started moving them around, I had them in piles and I knew exactly where they were going, especially the Philadelphia Experiment. But yeah, this is my original Scarface that I had for a while. Actually, I had this since I was in high school, and all the tapes and everything are good. And I was a huge fan. My sister has the poster, the gigantic Scarface poster, and I was a huge fan of this. When I saw it, I was like, "That's it." And the guy had it on a double pack, so we ended up getting it. I was like, "Oh, that's it. We're getting it." And so all these I had for a while, guys. A very, very, very long time. So we're gonna have that next to Untouchables, and of course, next Desperado goes. And Desperado, I showed Desperado too also. I don't want to leave out Desperado, which is one of my favorites. So this is my VHS portion, guys. Don't forget, click that like button and subscribe. My mom wrote her name on it, and it was kind of cool because what happened was that she thought this was hers and she didn't have it. She thought that this movie was a Lee Van Cleef movie, and I tripped out laughing. I said, "Ma, you put your name on it wrong." So what I can do is I can get that off with some little rubbing alcohol, so it's not a problem now. I'm glad she just didn't do it on the actual front of the case. I think she did it on the back of the case. But regardless, I can still get that off with rubbing alcohol because I got a few of them off. And it was funny because she was like, "I don't remember buying it." It was funny because I popped it in. I was like, "Ma, you remember this?" And since we watched it, I said it, and you had to write your name on the back. She was so mad. "I'm so sorry." She was like, "I don't remember this one." I'm like, "Yeah, because it wasn't yours." Yeah, this is not Lee Van Cleef. I'm like, wow. And it was kind of funny because I was like, "Man, this is not a Western." It kind of resembles it, but it's not a Western. It was crazy because I'm thinking like you confuse him with Lee Van Cleef. And that's crazy because we sat there and we laughed all night long. So I saw all this is my kick-ass dudes section over here. It's going to be going on right there. And then, like I said, you will have Face Off, like Face Off will be there. That will be there too also. Nicolas Cage. Because as you can see, it's coming away from over here. So what happens is I'm going to have to move some things from over there. Like to show y'all guys, see how you got Nicolas Cage right here. This one comes out. This one goes here. So what you're doing is you're creating that action thing. So these two go out. And they're going to come right back, but they're going to go out. And you're going to do Joyride stays there. Con Air comes out. So you're doing an action type of setup right here. Where this goes over in the black section over there. And so does Harlem Nights, because I'm going to be building on this section right here. Pulp Fiction, all those stay right there. Riddick Bowe, all those stay right there. House Party, I think, is this House Party? I believe it's House Party. Yep, House Party goes over here and that section over there. So what we do is we create a pile for that. We know what this pile is for. This pile's going over there. And our House Party's going right here in Exploitation. I'll show y'all guys what's over that section in just a minute. So guys, so now we're breaking it down. So now we see what's left over there. And you know that Joyride stays there. Harlem Nights actually comes out. Okay, this is the Hollow Knight one. Okay, beautifully done. Okay, so my Hollow Knights and all of those will go over here. It's going to go over there in that black exploitation section right there, along with all the other ones too also. So the comedy ones over here, let's get over here for just a second. Show you guys what also comes out. Okay, so we have Office Space that comes out. And it goes up here next to the comedy. So we're working on our shelf by shelf. And as you can see, the titles that are also right there, Blues Brothers, come out. I'm trying to do this without knocking anything down. So right now, you see what I'm talking about. Next to Cooley High, we're going to put Harlem Nights there. This is the black exploitation part. Okay? And then we're going to also have Lean On Me beside Cooley High, because I watched those almost at the same time like that when they were coming on, when we were watching them. Apologize about it, shaking these guys. I'm trying to move around. So we have them all together. You see where I'm going, guys? How it's all lining up in black exploitation. If I can move to the bottom too, I can also do some size on it because I'm removing those blanks in the back too. Also, they're going to come out. So we have now, see how the organization looks now? Okay, and Clueless comes out too also. And Clueless goes up here. And you know what else goes down the bottom? What's love got to do with it? Actually, let's put that over here in this pile right here, because that's more of a drama too. So let's put that over here, Tina Turner. So what I'll do is I'll come back with Kid and Play, because more we're working on more of the black exploitation. So I have to by right put him there. Color Purple can also come out, because it's going on that section too also. I have a few too also that I'm going to be putting along with Color Purple. So I had Color Purple set right here. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through a couple of other ones to see if any of the ones kind of fit that category. That's why I came over here first, because I know that I had started over here with some of the ones that were pretty much, you know, kind of like outrageous in that side right here. Now this one right here with Lynn Whitfield and Martin Lawrence, this goes over here next to Set It Off. This section almost doubles both of the two together when it comes to black exploitation and summer. And these two are going to come out, and Joyride stays there too also, because I'm going to move that too also. May have put that over there, but since it's action adventure, these two mostly, these not action adventure, but it's kind of action drama type. I kind of moved those right there. Now Joyride will come out, and Joyride will be put over into a one that's suspense, which I'll have a pile for that next. And then over here, American Pie. We'll go over here. And this is kind of like how it was on the video shelf, guys. So this is how I'm kind of doing. Cruel Intentions. Oh my goodness, that's my favorite right there. I love this one right here. This one was pretty cool, especially to actually to talk about and to have it to be displayed. This is why I'm gonna actually put it right over here in this pile over here. This is why I kind of got it lined up. This is one of my favorites too also. And then like you said, it's not numbered, and it actually was pretty cool. As you can see, it's not a scratch on it. Apologize about the glare. I'm trying to keep it off, guys. Hey guys, this is my VHS nostalgia. I'm pretty much proud of it. I'm pretty pumped too also, because it's like a lot of my tapes survive, and I'm pretty much happy that I was able to put things away properly, because I was kind of worried because that I really didn't have a lot just coming into the collection at the first time, and then to kind of like lose some things, it's kind of like a stab in the face. But at the same time, as my collection was growing over the years, coming back, it was a small percentage of what I lost, which wasn't bad at all to be losing something, which is not good, but just notice that it was a very, very, very small percentage that I've lost. And only to recuperate all of the rest back in order to find out years later that I go thrifting in my own damn place and end up finding 15 times 6 stacks in a tub, sealed, for 8 years in the house with me, and I'm running around trying to thrift and find good media when the shit was downstairs in the damn closet. So yeah, so that's why like I gotta do a video on this. This is crazy because VHS is my love, and guys, this is what I really, really love. And not only do I actually like the part of me able to trying to keep the collection together, it really makes me really think about more and more of my nostalgia purposes of being able to keep my collection, in pristine, not so much as order, but in pristine preservation is what I was looking for. Because it matters a lot, especially when you find something that you thought you've lost and it turns up out of nowhere. So that's why I say VHS lives, guys. Collect, collect, collect. And if you really, really collecting, like I said, I'm trying to get into that streaming versus collecting because that's like my ministry. But at the same time, I really kind of like you have to look at this a two ways type of deal. If you can use streaming towards your advantage by collecting too, also that will help you out even more better. But for you, some of the guys out here that's really like, streaming is a but no. I'm like, no. Like I said in my last video, guys, this is only a new way for them to get money off of you because they're going to tie you into a subscription regardless of anyway. And you're paying for different types of streaming services that you're not seeing all of these featured films on there, just kind of leaving, the streaming services. And not to mention just able to have the physical copy in your hand, like Liar Liar, that's going to go over here on the shelf over here. So, and then the Cruel Intentions, like I said, this is one of my favorites. That's why I had to pull that out. That's going to go over here. And we also know that Jeepers Creepers comes out. We know where Imitation of Life goes. Imitation of Life goes. So let's just move that there now. All right, so we know where Jeepers Creepers goes. There she goes again, writing it on there again. She thought, and this was another funny one, guys. She thought that this one was Rest Stop because it was crazy because what happened, she wrote her name on it and it was kind of cool. At that time because it's like we both laughed. I'm like, damn, I gave her the jacket and her jacket was on the wrong tape because we had just got finished washing it. So what happened was she put her jacket on the tape so not only did she had the tape wrong, but she had the right jacket, but it was also on the wrong tape. And we thought that was funny, but she wrote mom on it and she put it away. So we couldn't find out. We ran around through trying to find where Rest Stop was, and we never could find it because it was in the jacket that she wrote on that she didn't have put back. So and then kind of found out that Jeepers Creepers was in there, and Jeepers Creepers was inside of Rest Stop, and then Rest Stop was inside of Jeepers Creepers, which was weird. So that goes over here, guys, next to Joyride. So what happens is that you're going to be moving them out. You see how you have those two at the top, and over here, this Eddie Murphy one. This is also, I was a huge fan of too also. I do have a lot of Eddie Murphy over here too also. I also do have the, what is it? Eddie Murphy, yeah, Raw. Here it is right there. So basically that and Eddie Murphy will come over here. So then that we got Eddie Murphy out of the way, we'll create a section over there. Okay, this is Die Hard, Bruce Willis. We know where Bruce Willis goes, right? So it's an easy peasy deal. So and look at the artwork on the back of the box. This is another thing about what I mean by nostalgia. To just have it picked up. You remember, guys, when you used to go to the video store, you would pick up the box and you would read all the words on the back, and you would try to convince yourself why you should buy it or why you should watch it, or you would let the artwork just kind of like drag you into the fact that you're going to take this to the counter and actually make a purchase off of it. I wasn't really into all of just the nostalgic purposes of just being in love with just the box alone, because it was like if I'm picking it up, I'm picking it up because of the movie, because that was the major point of buying the media. But at the same time, you guys want to like really, really just take portion of what's inside of the contents rather than being your eyes drawing towards what the eye candy seems to have. If you're a real physical media collection, like how we all are, some of us, it mattered more by having it all in one package. What I mean by that is meaning to have the disc in good condition, or tape. We used to call it back in the days, tape. And then also having all of our box without rips and tears, and then being able to put your hand on the tape and actually have something that you had survived since you were in high school. It's pure nostalgic. Of course, these days you can go downstairs and turn on streaming, but you don't really physically own it, do you? So that's where the drawing line comes in, guys. So this is where the conversation stops. This is where having a physical media collection matters. Putting your hand on it, actually putting it in the VHS players, having the nostalgia of being able to just have everything, plus not only I mentioned the CRTs, just alone, just makes it really, really badass to also to have things set up. This is why I actually created my medium theme bed, which is also pretty cool too also. And then on that top side over there, I have an entire Dolby 5.1 DTS system that's patched into all of the systems. So I have tons of different ways of how to go about all of the media. At the top, like I said, we have Star Trek The Voyage Home, which is one of my favorites. And we have that playing in the background because, like I say, I'm going fantasy, post-apocalyptic, and action all at once. And I'm just running some trailers. Classic, all those. I'll show you what's going to go on that shelf right there. And over there, I'm going to show you what's going to go on this shelf right here. See most of the actions. So basically, Die Hard is going to go up there on that shelf right there. And then actually, I have two. That's why you see them up and down over top of each other. So basically, Die Hard goes... This is our Bruce Willis. So Die Hard goes down here. Okay. You see where it's going, guys? Stripes. It's another good movie too also, which I will get there in just a minute. Which is also kind of one of my ones too also, which is pretty cool. And I remember going to the movies to see this too also. I mean, not going to the movies, but I remember renting this from BlockBusters at the time. And what they did is they had this hooked up with... I think it was called. I can't remember the name of the movie too, but it was a comedy too. Also, I'm trying to remember what it was. I believe it played in the drive-in too. Also, as a double bill. I'm just trying to remember the name of it, but it was pretty badass. I wasn't really into Stripes at the same time, but I said, well, let me just go ahead on and get it because what happened was is that I'm glad I did because I am still surviving. And I didn't really know if I was going to see this again because I do really like him. And like I said, Columbia Pictures at the time, they were releasing a lot of media at the time. Like I said, if it was Columbia House, Paramount, or Warner Brothers, you would pick it up at the time. Those were the ones that were constantly coming out when they were coming out. And I thought that this was another one that you could have that would be in the collection to move along. So now I put some next to Mel Gibson, but he goes over here on this side here. There's a little bit of action going on in that flick that is really, 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 needed to be notable. And also, we will start working on here. So let me show y'all guys some of this ones right here that I do also have. These are the clamshell good times. I don't know if you guys are really, really seeing some of the ones I do have my in Christine collection condition. And as you can see on the inside, really not a tear or blemish. Tape was just actually perfect, sitting on the spindle, not a rip or gash. And I made sure I took care of the clamshell because clamshells are really, really difficult to keep up with, especially when you got it on your thing because they will always kind of break up. But I kind of always kept my clamshells together. So what I did is that I created a separate tub and I put all of my clamshells on the inside, especially when it came to my sitcom shows and stuff like that I was collecting on clamshells. And I stopped after that because they were all available on Blu-ray. On DVD after the fact. So basically, I decided to start off a show by adding all of that cinema there of TV shows. And then, of course, you have Lucy, which will go first. You have Gilligan's Island. Don't forget about my favorite Gilligan's Island too, which is one of my other favorites. I'm a huge fan of this. I have the entire series on DVD too also, of course. But yeah, I remember when I had got this. This was pretty cool because I was really into Gilligan's Island. And what they did is they started releasing a few Gilligan's Island at a time. Keep in mind, Gilligan's Island has a lot of seasons. I almost forgot how many were. No, 3 seasons. Yeah, if I just remembered. Gilligan's Island got 3 seasons. And my favorite was season 1 and season 2. And as you can see, look at that sticker. It's almost like, going back in nostalgia purposes. Pristine condition. Jacket's not torn and everything was ready to go. So I kind of had a spot for this one. I had a spot for this one to go on handy spot. And what happened, guys, is that I started polishing off the shelf. So I do have some polish on my hands, so I apologize for dropping the meter. I didn't mean to drop it. But I had polish on my hands because I had polished the hell out of this stuff because now I'm putting everything together. And I got them to where they neighbor each other because we're going side by side. And we're picking through as we go along. The Nutty Professor. goes over there. Comedy side. Okay, let's start. I gotta remember what this was. Sabrina. I don't remember what Sabrina was. I have to look it up again. All right, so I'm grabbing titles as we go along. Okay, Players Club. I knew where Players Club went, so let's take that out. One of my favorites too, also. Geez, I've been taking care of myself for a long motherfucking time. Shit. I don't need no babysitter. What you need to do is take your ass home. Looking like you looking. It was crazy as fuck. She was, Ebony was wild as fuck. It was crazy. Diamond said, don't be out there for these food. And it was weird as shit. And I kind of like this one. I was like, wow, this is crazy. All right, so you know that Players Club goes over here. And what it does is it comes like this. Pulp Fiction goes here. Justice. And then right in between that, we have Players Club. Goes next to Code Up. And Set It Off. So I try to keep those together. Because that's going to be the continuation of the Black Exploitation. From the opposite end. Because that thing is getting stretched out over there. So I had two different sides for that. All nice and dolled up. So yeah, I keep those two together. On that section right there. And everything is getting put away, genre by genre. You know, it's coming. It's coming. All right, so now we know what this side is. Most of the fantasy stuff like that is going to continuation from that side over here. So that's going to be moved there. We know we have our Black Exploitation over here. Now we're going to go from side to side to see if anyone else that could come out, you know, that you don't have to have in their Black Exploitation. So what's going to happen is that you can take out Harlem Nights. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hold Harlem Nights right here for just a second. And then what you're going to do is you're going to scan through and you're going to find to see if there's anything else that could go over to that section. But right now, as we see already, The Long Kiss Goodnight already goes across. It's one of my favorite films too also. I love Gina Davis and I love Samuel Jackson. I thought these two were really badass when they did this because I thought it was really good. And I have a lot of films with Gina Davis too also. Like I said, I have her in Beetlejuice, which we already had put up on the shelf over there. So yeah, so since this is the most of action, you know where this goes. Right over here in the action section. All right, so you see how this works, guys? And then Backdraft, you also know where Backdraft is going to also, because it's like almost a hit and miss on to where this is what's going on. So what I did is I did a cross section between it to also to move this along. And then I just added a section to it and put it next to End of Days, which is right over here. Of course, this was really my mom's tape, and it was crazy. The tape that she didn't thought was I was going to take it off, because she was like, just take it off. This is really her tape. Because what happens, I didn't like End of Days, but she bought End of Days, and what happened was she thought it was mine and put it in my pile because I had nothing but a Schwarzenegger pile. Keep in mind, Commando and Raw Deal was the only two that was missing out of my total entire Schwarzenegger collection. So Backdraft is mostly more action chic. So what I do is I move that over here too also. Because like I said, I have it fantasy, action, and then moving across to that side right there. Now also we know what goes there. We also have It's a Little on Dirty Shame, which also is going to go over in the exploitation section over there. Okay. So what we do is we have, since we have Crooklyn and we have Dragon, and then we also have, so I'm just looking for, let's see, I think I may have it on this side better. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to Get You Sucker. So it goes right next to I'm going to Get You Sucker. So I got to move this over there. Because what happened was that you see Wesley Snipes over here. Let me move a little bit closer. You see Wesley Snipes right there. So this one would go right next to I'm gonna get you sucker. Because I try to keep all those together. Because this is, and keep in mind, guys, I'm putting it the way how it used to come on when we used to watch it. So I'm gonna get you suckers right here. Beautiful. Still survived too, also, which is pretty badass. It almost looks just like, because I got them all around the same time. This is MGM. And what happened was is that they were all out around the same time, so I started just buying them all up. And like I said, School Days, Last Dragon, all those go right next to here, so I'll put that here. So basically, you're basically building this collection up. And then this one right here is my New Jack City. Okay. And New Jack City goes there. And then over here, you'll see why I'm sliding them down in a minute. You see where you have a time to kill. Now you're going to hold a time to kill for just a minute, because this is where it crosses the line. So not only do you have time to kill, this is where you could move a time to kill out and have it in a different section too also, which makes it pretty cool. So you'll have, basically what I'm talking about is you'll have a time to kill and you'll have the color purple both together, and then you'll throw in Philadelphia. Almost like the same wheel. So what happened was is that you're gonna have let me see, because there's another section too that I also kind of want to put them in too. So what we'll do is that we'll do color purple. So we have we'll do a time to kill. No, I'm sorry. Philadelphia first. No, not Philadelphia. Give me just a second. Collateral damage goes right over here. Yep. But what we do is we add it next to over here, because they're the same, almost a neighbor. You go into action and you go into action event, so they both the same, almost the same area. So we'll keep those two together. There. Let's turn it around. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll move out these two here, and we'll bring it next to Lord of the Rings, and we're working our way down. See, and I'm leaving spots to put in, to fill in. So what you'll have is you'll have this one in front of that one like that, because this one's going to be towards the end. So now we know what place we're in at putting them up on the shelf. Now, what we do is we know that we're going to have collateral damage there too. Also, what we do is we have this one continue over. So we'll have eraser there. So what you're doing is I'm putting basically the collection back of all of my Schwarzenegger, because I had them kind of like in order when I did have them on this shelf, guys. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to take out. You're going to take out that first one. So you're going to do True Lies next, because both the action adventures kind of running side by side together. You'll see what I'm doing in just a minute, because there's going to be some things to take out. I know y'all guys are like, oh, he's on action, he's on sci-fi, he's doing this. No. All right, so you're going to have this up here. Okay. I'm going to have Legend. Okay. Then we're going to go here. Then I'm going to show you what Stripes are going to go. Stripes is going to come down here next to Backdraft. Okay. And then what you're going to have is you're going to have a package where it's going to go sort of a little bit of Demented on you. So what you're going to do is you're going to have Double Team. You're going to have Double Team first. Okay. So this is now where when you started to put them where they're going. Collateral damage. All right. And then you're going to do... we're moving them along. So you have True Lies, you have Double Team. So making sure everything is straight there. Okay, that's straight. And then over here in this section, you're gonna have you're gonna move up eraser. Eraser is gonna come here now. Okay, and then this will be a front facing. So we'll see how that's gonna be a front facing. So we know how that's gonna be basically organized. And you're basically just putting them all where they're going, and then you know where the Wizard of Oz goes, right? It's gonna be a continuation, but she's gonna be moving around a lot in this entire series. So we're gonna put her up here because we also do have Lord of the Rings and fantasy kind of going right there. So they're kind of like it's gonna go neighboring, and then we're gonna go action. We're gonna be working our way, and some of those ones off that list are gonna go here. You know, the VHS is right there. L.A. Bounty, Seth Andy Bergman, and She is gonna go right there, and the other ones are gonna go right here too. So I'm saving that room for that. And then what we're doing is we're going across. So now we're going to grab Coming to America, which is another one of my favorites. Whatever you like. Beautiful, beautiful edition. Untaped, unharmed. All right, so we're going to have that next to Lean On Me. So it's going to be Coming to America, Lean On Me. It's going to go right there. So what we're doing now, and we're going to find Boomerang. There's Boomerang there. Strange, I say Strange. As you can see, the label is pretty good. So it's my Paramount. Like I said, a lot of Paramount stuff was out during that time, and I was just buying it up as it came along. Guys, click that like button if you subscribe. Sitting here, just organize all my entire collection. I'm glad you guys actually able to join me on getting my collection, my VHS collection already together. Spent so much time actually doing this, and I just want to share some nostalgia purposes of me collecting. Like I said, this is my love and passion from the beginning. And I just thank y'all guys for joining me and taking this venture for me, just along with me, and it's just being there to just let me know I'm doing some good things at the bottom. And thank y'all guys for all of your support so far, for getting all the likes on all of my videos. Guys, feel free to watch all the rest of the media I do also have on just my collection alone. If you're into just separate genres, I do also have those up. And I do also have my badass, sweet Super Vixen 70s entire grindhouse up already. If you guys check that out. And if you also want to see my purge collection of my TV box sets that I grew up on as a kid, that's also up there. And if you want to go way back, guys, check out my ultimate Christmas list and my also watch lists that I was watching since I was a kid. I remember going under the tree, and for Christmas, my mom would just go to a store called Ames, like I told y'all guys, which was a retailer that sold tapes, and they were really good at it. Like I said, a lot of Paramount stuff, a lot of Warner Brothers stuff, a lot of Canon films. I mean, just a lot of good stuff. And as you can see, like I said, my surviving collection is kind of like still here and able to come, to fruition with all these good things that I do also have. And, I'm pretty much stoked at that now. Since I've been looking just for a few minutes ago, I had just to the side and found out that Beverly Hills Billy survives too also, which is a pretty good one too also, because I do love Beverly Hills Billies. I didn't get a chance to get Petticoat Junction because they did have it there, but I should have grabbed that too also. But like I said, when I go thrifting again, I will grab it. So you know where this is going, guys, over in the classic TV show section. So now you see how this working, guys? This is really working off really good. Now, so also we have Boomerang Freddie Murphy. So you know where she goes. She's going to go over here. But when she goes over here, we're going to be moving some things down just a bit. And then we're going to have her put right next to Eddie Murphy's Coming to America. See? And the collection comes together. Easy peasy deal. Easy peasy deal. You see where it's going at? House Party, all those ones that's standing there too also. This one right here too also that I just added. And we have, what else is over here? We have another copy too. Like I said, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, which I just put over here too also earlier. One very, very copy that I was really, really proud of that kind of like really made it to also The Last Dragon, which was one of my favorite too also ones, Show Enough. And it was like CBS, because a lot of those were coming out too. A lot of CBS ended up turning out. And they were really, really turning out videos, CBS Fox, back during those times, because when you were collecting it, you were really collecting. And this is really a nice, good collection that survived out of the whole entire thing. Yep. Also, there's another one too also. School Days too, also, which I do have also on Blu-ray too, also. But yeah, this is about when it survived too, also, which is pretty cool. And I remember watching those two also. The only ones I didn't get to also was Death by Temptation. I should have got that on VHS, but I had kind of slipped on that one. I did see that they had it in the basket, but like I said, I was really going towards Crooklyn, Lean on Me, and Cooley High, because I was really, really worried about those because I had the ultimate lineup, and the way I'm organizing it now is the way I used to have it in my room when I was a kid. Talk about nostalgia, guys. This is really, really, really badass, and I'm glad I'm stoned for this treat because I'm able to really take my time with the media and actually do it. This is a very, very long live, guys, but hey, when you're talking about VHS, you can't go quickly. There's Crooklyn, also one of my favorite films that I like from out of the Spike Lee collection. I'm not really a huge Spike Lee fan, but some of the ones I do like that he pretty much did pretty good on. And yeah, Crooklyn was one of the ones that I did like. So I'm trying to keep them lined up to where I had those. Okay, and then next up was Cooley High, which is another one of my favorites too also. I really did dig this one too also. Yeah, it's also badass. And then we're just putting the collection together, like piece by piece. And then you have Lean on Me going right there, and you'll be organizing the collection. So once you do it, once you got them all ready to go, because I'm going to remove those ones out of the back. Those are the ones I used to record on. And all these is on Maxell. I'll bring out one just to show y'all guys, because I was a huge fan of Maxell, and still to this day, all of my media still stays on. Of course, still on my tape. And then not only is the tape pretty much badass, but I end up really choosing Maxell over top of all the ones. And this is the one that I normally have. And this is my basement collection tape that I normally have too, also filled with trailers. Guys, if you're on my Facebook channel, y'all guys check me out at Turn from the Basement. And as you can see, Turn from the Basement is written on my tape. Now, these are all my trailers, 12 hours of trailers that I had cut for us, the Grindhouse. And I had recorded that years ago. That's my nickname there. And this is tape number 3 out of that series. So this is the only tape that survived out of all the series that I take. And as you can see, this is number 6 because this was the number that was on the jacket. Because I was recording so much, I put number 3 into the jacket of number 6. So that means that number 6 is ruined. And the whole time I was recording on 3 when I was supposed to be recording on 6. So it's just little things like that, guys, you realize later on. I'm like, so that means now that number 3 was action post-apocalyptic sci-fi. That's what this was supposed to be in number 6. Right now on here is exploitation, which means that goes number 3. So number 6 was basically all that stuff you see here, all that fantasy stuff. That was supposed to be on number 6. So I just thought that was a nice, good treat to talk about. Now that, I really, came to the agreement like, oh, wow, that was a big mistake. But at the same time, I kind of like made up for it because as time went along, I was able to just get those media anyway. So this stuff is coming together really, really nice. And then all you do is keep them going around. And you will grab tapes. Oh, yeah, so you would know next up would be Harlem Nights. So you got to have that already together. And what happened is I'm doing it, like I said, according to how we watched it when I was a kid. And I'm organizing this shelf according to that. So what we're going to do is we're going to move Lean On Me down just a little bit because I always keep Lean On Me next to Cooley High. And we're going to put Harlem Nights right next to Boomerang Ain't Coming to America. Actually, it's supposed to be Coming to America first. Then Harlem Nights, then Boomerang. Okay? So the collection will look like that when it's all put together. Nice and organized and nice and neat. And we're working our way down now. All right, so we have this collection too also together. Up here, we also have that looking pretty nice. Have everything all organized. And keep in mind, as they come in, I'm dropping them into where they're supposed to be at. This action side is going to continue over. So right now, we're going to be starting to get to this one right here, A Time to Kill. It's going to be in a time of, so it's going to be A Time to Kill. I'll lay it out for you guys. It's going to be color purple. Okay. It's going to be all these are going to be next in this particular section right here. Okay, so it's going to be Fatal Attraction. It's going to be Double Jeopardy with my man Tommy Lee Jones. Then we're going to have What's Love Got to Do with It. And I'm going to also find a copy, like I said, of The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane. I have it on my hard drive, but this will be over here next. Jodie Foster, starring Jodie Foster. Okay, we got Cruel Intentions. We got Imitation of Life. And then we're working our way towards Color Purple. So I always keep Imitation of Life next to Color Purple. And then we also have A Time to Kill. So all these are going next on the shelf all together, just like that. So that's one wheel already put together. And this is the drama part of it. Okay. So, and then of course over there, the extra part that's going to go to it is going to go, Fame is going to go, let me move that across. Pam Grier, let's just grab this over here. Actually, I'm going to set it up here because I still haven't had a place for it yet. So right now I'm creating little areas of where everybody's going to be. Sister Act and all of them are going down here. Demolition Man, Enemy Estate, all that's going to go this. Just hold for a minute. Eddie Murphy goes over there, and Love of Basketball, all that's going to go over there. That's going to be going downstairs. All right, so we know Pam Grier. It sucks because now we move them in categories, and as they go into categories, we put them all away according to how we already have them. So as you can see, the stacks are really going down. All right, so we have Foxy Brown. Beautifully done. Still unchecked. Still okay. And you actually know that Foxy Brown goes over here. So actually Foxy Brown's supposed to go next to True Lies. Like that. Actually, you got her moving right along on that side right there. Because normally you would have her over there in the ground. But I keep her actually in the action section. Demolition Man also. Wesley Snipes. And Sylvester Stallone. One of my favorites also. One of my favorites also. Really, really ready to go. I had the rewind part to the bottom. It just came right out. I actually cleaned the tape earlier, which was pretty cool. So let me move it back to the side where I had it at to put in. Okay, just moving it, setting it up in there. All right, so now I have it set up in there properly right. Let's go Demolition Man. All right, so we're going to have Demolition Man next to Double Team. So we're going to move True Lies and Must Calm Down. So we're going to do like this. And this is how you organize it and setting it all up. So we have Double Team. We have Demolition Man. We have True Lies. We have Eraser. Okay. And then we're moving it. We're going down. We're going down. As you're doing it, you're sliding Foxy Brown down because you're putting something that go with Foxy Brown in that section where that goes. Now, we also know that Liar Liar is also a comedy. There's Mom. This is really her tape, by the way. Yep. So now Liar Liar goes over here in the comedy section. Okay. And it goes right over above the dark exploitation too also. So we're going to kind of keep that over there. Okay, Eddie Murphy's Raw, which is right here, along with Whisper Calm goes here. Okay, Eddie Murphy, the best of Eddie Murphy also goes there. So it's also comedy. So it goes there. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring them up to where I have the labels at. So you got to come up to at least about right there. On the tape, sorry guys, I had the camera down. So you're going to come up to at least about right there. You're going to bring them up, organize them. Easy peasy, organize them. Bringing them up, easy. Okay, now if you have to move anything in the back, you can move it in the back too. So if your back connection would be raw, you would move raw to the back. And if you want to bring it in too also. Now a lot of these are going upstairs, which is, I'm not going to move in. Now Love and Basketball, which was not bad at all too. Also, one of my favorites too also. Still nice and clean. That will go over here next to Pathetic Justice. I always call it Pathetic Justice. And because that will be more on that side right there. And then also, you have Jeepers Creepers. So what we're going to do is we're going to move Jeepers Creepers and Joyride out. And we're going to put them down here in this section over here. And I'm going to show y'all why in a minute. Okay, so, it says, let me show y'all Joyride. Nice Joyride. Okay. All right, so now we're going to move out Collateral Damage. which is another one of my favorites too also. Gotta love collateral damage. Beautifully done. Next to Eraser. Okay, we're starting to look good. We're starting to look good, guys. We're starting to look good. We just have to go all the way across, and as you can see, everybody's coming in. Everybody's coming in. People are moving out. As people's coming in, people's going out. So now we're working all three sections at the same time. Now, okay, the Mighty Quinn. Also, not a huge fan of this movie, but it did pretty good. And I said, well, okay, yeah. So what I do is I'm gonna put it next to, because it's almost like a exploitation type, type of action type of thing going on here. Mostly action it's going on here with this one. And then so you know where he goes at, the Mighty Quinn. Denzel. So what I always do, I move this one down, stripes down, this one down. And what I do is, okay, so we have the Lungs, Kiss Goodnight. So, okay, I'm going to move some of these out. I'm going to show y'all guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so we have Bruce Willis down here. Okay, we have Con Air down here. I'm sure you guys keep the camera still so I can show you guys what I'm working with. Okay, so we're moving it down, and then we're going to put the Long Kiss Goodnight next to Desperado. And then we're going to do them right next to that, okay? So now we have a nice good action section right there. Action adventure. So what's going to happen is we're going to take out Backdraft. And we're going to add Backdraft over here next to this one over there, End of Days. Okay. And then I'm going to show y'all guys how it's all being phased out too also, because things are being moved around and moved around and moved around and moved around. And then Riddick and Triple X. Riddick and Triple X are going on this section right here, but they're going to go down at the bottom over there. So we have Riddick. And then we have Triple X. Okay. So that's going to go on that section down here once I get them all organized out. So what it's going to do is going to be a phase out of some ones like it's on the fantasy side of it. Going to come out and get moved down. So basically right now we're going to have, let's see, we're going to have Stargate come out. I had this for a while too also, which is pretty cool. I remember getting this too also in the rental spot. Okay, Stargate. So since Stargate is going to be the continuation of over here on this side over there, we know basically where that section is going to end up at. So you'll have Stargate. So what you're going to do is you're going to take out, let me see which one that I'm going to take out of this collection here to put in, but because either way, it can go in there of either way. So what you do is you're going to start your collection to the back. So you're going to have Stargate here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have both the two copies of the Mummy here. Okay. So you're getting your fantasy collection row by row kind of like together on that one side right there. And then what you're going to be doing is you're going to have this side right here for your thriller. So you're just moving the things around a little bit, okay? And then your action, so that means Backdraft could now have to go up here, right at the end like that. So you'll have Backdraft up here, okay? And then for End of Days, which was another one too also, which was not bad. We have End of Days next to, so let's turn Mel Gibson around down the back. Let's move him over to this side here. So we have End of Days, which was right here. I had to take Mom off because this was actually really hot tape too. So we have him next to Collateral Damage, and which means it's Foxy Brown moves down, because then some black cinema can come in there too, because we have like almost like this action packed section here with just the action. Because actually normally I keep Foxy Brown next to Sheba Baby and Coffee and all of them. Since I had them on my hard drive and I had them on Blu-ray, I don't really need to have those. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just get Sheba Baby and put it next to Coffee. And maybe one copy of Tamara Dobson's Cleopatra Jones. So I'll have that. Now, okay, so now we are moving down the ladder as to what we do. So we have Grease and Fame. And I'll show y'all where that's going at too. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out Joyride and Jeepers Creepers. So we know where to put those two at too also when it's time for those two. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with Fame and Grease. Okay. Animated State is going downstairs. Along with Sister Act and all them on that pile. Mostly going downstairs. All right, so we're going to have, first up, we're going to have Fame. Right there. We're going to have Grease. Okay. And then now we're moving around. We're moving it down. Some of these I haven't even seen yet, too, also. The Mask, too, also is funny. So, yeah, I put the Mask over here, too, also. So we have that, too, Jim Carrey, because that's comedy. So that goes up here, like that. Okay, so... And then another thing, too, also, Riddick and Wiscom stays right there. Waterboy is also a action one, too, also, which I just moved that over to this section over here. So I actually put that... I'll just hold on to it for a minute because there's some ones here that I haven't really checked out yet. So I have to move those there. So basically the combinations are getting really, really good as far as the organizations being put up together. So now we also have, so I'll get to that in a minute. Waiting to Exhale goes over here. So we'll move this one over here. Waiting to Exhale. All those are going in that stack right there because they're already getting lined up. All right, so we know we have Shaft. So this is what we're going up with next. So guys, the actual... whole collection is starting to come together, really lining up really nicely. And it's starting to get organized really, really nice too also. Piles are starting to get created and media is starting to go up on the shelf and it's starting to look badass. And behind you in all those little photos, I have movies all inside of there too also. That's been right there, movies all inside of there. So it's pretty cool. All right, so we got Shaft, Samuel L. Jackson. You know where he goes. You know where he goes. Okay. And then he goes over here next to Stripes. Because actually, the way I had him before, I had him along with A Long Kiss Goodnight, which was in the same shot. So I made sure I kept him together, in that kind of order. All right, so that section is looking pretty badass. And then we're working our way over that to this section over here because we know what we got going on right there. Pulp Fiction, all that kind of stuff like that. So it's going to be a neighboring of this section here, which is also put together nicely and neatly. So we're working our way down. Okay, Good Burger. Good Burger is also a comedy too, also, so you know where Good Burger goes. Okay, and this is a pretty good copy too of Good Burger. I remember getting this too also. Good Burger. It's Paramount, I believe. Yep, Paramount. It's pretty much badass the way it was. And I like the cover too. The cover is kind of like really, really embossed. And it has like this ultimate retro color to it. And I thought it was really pretty badass. Yep. And then, of course, you know where that's going to go at. So what you're going to do now is you're going to move the Mask in the back. Like that. And you're going to move Eddie Murphy Raw. And you're going to move Eddie Murphy Wiscom in the back because you want to keep all those together in the back. You're going to move Raw in the back. Okay, so this is what you're doing. You're creating it a nice good zone. So you're going to move these over. So you're going to slide across. So each time you move to a shelf, you're organizing the shelf or how it gets. So using on National Lampoon, the way I have it, I have the Blues Brothers next to that too also. Okay, so you're setting it up like this. And then, you have Office Space. Well, I have Beetlejuice, Office Space, and Clueless. Those three always kind of stays together. And Clueless and Pies and all that. And Nutty Professor always stay back this way like this because I'm quite sure another comedy is coming up. All right, so it's looking pretty badass and it's getting organized. It's going to be there. So now we know that Good Burger goes next to Office Space, which is my favorite. Okay. All right. Also, The Three Stooges is also one of my favorites too. Also, since this is a comedy series like TV series, which is a spot, it still recommends and goes into like classic series because just Three Stooges was always like this little thing when it comes on. It was like always like a series, so I decided to add it over to another section. Let me take this down because I don't want folks to be like, oh, that's not supposed to be there. Yeah, so let's move Max over out of the way. All right, so we have the greatest film collections, Three Stooges, one of my favorites, and that goes next to, you guessed it, Beverly Hillbillies. Not looking bad, right? Not bad. So, okay, so we have, I want to show y'all guys this too. Also, this Misery collection. This also is not a movie per se. It's basically, I'll take that out. I have to see what's going on with these three. All right, so it's basically Sparkle Can, which is a series about the Supremes and stuff like that too. Also, that goes next to what Love Got to Do with It on that side. So it will go next to Love and Basketball, which will go over here, which is pretty easy because which Love Got to Do with It is over here too. Also, I believe what's Love Got to Do with It? Let me see. No, what's Love Got to Do with It? It's over here. So we have Sparkle over here. What has Love Got to Do with It there with Tina Turner, and we have that there. So that would be this kind of like section going on there like that. That way we still have all of these hot ones to go on the shelf next to the way that they're going. And the way it looks like it's going to be going on the third shelf, which is going to be pretty cool because it'll be like a Time to Kill type of a show. All right, and as we're going off, Home Alone, of course, is a common one of the ones too. Also, Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2. But before I do that, you got to do Big Daddy, Adam Sandler, which is also a comedy. He's also funny. And what I normally do, I'll put him. Let's see. Let's see what I'm gonna do. So what I do is I'll add him up there with actually I put him in this aisle right here. Next to Grease and Fate. Because what happened is that actually no, I'll put him up here. Because next to Nutty Professor, that's where he goes. I was remembering it like in a minute. I was like, oh, do I remember where? Yeah, I had it right next to Nutty Professor because I know it was Nutty Professor and Liar Liar. And they were all turned together like that. So that's what it was. I had to move over a little bit. All right, so, and then also, because I'm starting to remember now, because keep in mind, I got everything where it was, but sometimes I still get confused. Jim Curry, Ace Ventura, which is another one too, my funny ones too also. And I try to keep all, like I said, the comedies together. And pristine collection too also. So we know that Ace Ventura, well, because right now you got, you're moving them over. And then you're going to have Big Daddy. And you're going to have Ace Ventura come down like this, just a little bit down. And then you're going to have Ace Ventura next to Liar Liar. Okay? That way that looks badass on the shelf. Apologize, got to move it around, guys. I'm just trying to make sure I organize them as I put them on and try to give y'all guys the best shot possible of me organizing the media, because I know people love to see that too, because I know I would, especially when someone's organizing media that they found in their own house after going thrifting for 8 years, and finding 6 stacks of, 15 stacks, 6 stacks of 15 movies. Yeah, it's not a badass deal. Yeah. And everything is going to get, lined up and evenly spaced. And like I said, I'll take those out and that'll be expansion for that shelf. And right now, this is more of the Fame and Grease. We have those over there. So what we'll do is add more to that. Speed is up next. We know Speed goes into this side over here. So what we do is we'll move it across on this side right here. And we have him with, because it's continuing over. So what we got to do is we got to move Fame and Grease down to the end. Because, we have our action here. So what it's going to do is going to continue over Stripes to that, to Speed. And we're going into now action. Make sure they're all lined up properly. Because I'm copying off of the next shelf to keep it in line. Like I said, I polished the shelf off already, guys, and it's probably hoping to get a good view. So we're starting to get put away nice and easy so far. All right, so Home Alone, all those. I'm gonna show y'all where Home Alone goes to. Also, Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2, and I'll move some other things down. Ghost. Okay. All right, so Mrs. Doubtfire is a comedy to also Robin Williams. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. So you know he goes into comedy. So he will be going here. My bad. Okay. Now, we're still digging for more. Okay, so I know where that goes. This one I have to determine where that goes. This Dracula Dead and Loving It. I had to determine where this one's going to go. But we'll see. The Negotiator is also going to go next to Speed 2 also, which is another one too also that I like pretty much. Samuel L. Jackson, keep in mind Samuel L. Jackson again rules, and since Shaft is over there, that section over there, it's continuation with The Negotiator has to go next. So it's made really easy, guys, when you just do it this way. And of course, you know, our next entire shelf that's going to go there next is we're going to start grabbing these. And all these are going to go next to Fame. We're going to have Fatal Attraction. We're going to have Double Jeopardy. Okay. We're going to have Cruel Intentions. And right behind Cruel Intentions, we're going to have the little girl who lives down the lane. Will be here once she comes in. But for right now, I got Imitation of Life next to that. So it'll be -1 down. Okay. And then we also have Color Purple, which is going that way too. Also. And then we have also A Time to Kill also. Okay. That will go right next to Color Purple. Okay, so we're on the roster for bringing it up. I'll bring them up a little bit more. It's actually the way I got it here is the line. Trying to make sure I'm showing you guys the line, not moving the camera around. And that's about right for the line. To go down the line, that's about right. Everything's even and being spaced out and worked out. So we get everything I'll put up. I know this guys, this is pretty much a long video, but this is my entire nostalgic collection of me putting these things away and having everything all set up and all that kind of good stuff. And then we also know that Pretty Woman, also a nice sealed copy of Pretty Woman. Julie Roberts is one of my favorites. We also know that she goes right next to, let's see, right over, because that she goes to Cruel Intentions. So what we're going to do is we're going to move down just a little bit over here, slide down a little bit. We're going to right behind Fatal Attraction. We're going to have Pretty Woman right there. And then we slide that down. Double Jeopardy, Imitation of Life. And then these two right here, Color Purple and Wishcom, will move down just a bit to the side, along with that to giving you action adventure there. So what we do is we'll move Speed out, and then we'll take out a Negotiator, and then bring them over here. Because they can come over there to that, because that's basically action too in that section. And then what you'll do is you'll be doing that from Pulp Fiction going all the way up, and then getting that part together. So that part is coming out really good there too also. Because you're going into the action over there on that side. Because basically it was supposed to have been here behind these two. Be Carnair and all those two ones. So actually I still might do that. Let me move that down because that's actually I think where it's supposed to go. So we would have Speed and Negotiator right there. in that section there. Apologize, guys. Just trying to get everything out. Yeah. Make sure we have enough room down there. Okay. And that's what that section looked like once it's done. And we're moving everybody together. So that way on that side right there, I got to continue to go with black exploitation because I know it's a lot more of black exploitation that I do have over there that's on the side, you know, that I normally do have. Let's see also Baby Genius too also is another one too also, which is one of the ones that's pretty cool too also. So I keep them in like the comedy side of it because it's like more funny too also. And more of an action. So what I do is I create a double shelf for as me doing action and this one together too also because it's like comedy, funny, plus action. Almost like Good Burger is. Okay, so now we are moving across the side. So we're going to start all the way across. We're going to move down now. Time to Kill. Color Purple. Imitation of Life. Cruel Intentions. Cruel Intentions. Double Jeopardy. Okay, and then Pretty Woman. Fatal Attraction. And then Fame and Grease will go there because I'm going to actually move those out if I need to move those to the side and we'll see where they're going to go. And I'd actually found out where they're going to go. They're going to go over here with these two. Extra Sparkle and all those ones because they're more like theme oriented. So I just kind of put them there. So what I do is I move them down to the end. Actually, one here and one there, so that would create another one in the middle. So that'd be easy to put it in. So that way I can kind of create what's going on. And then what's going to happen is that Caught Up and all them, Pulp Fiction is going to come out. Yeah, Pulp Fiction is going to come out. So what happens is Pulp Fiction is going to go over here in this section over there. So what I do is I create another section to move that down in the back. And I already see where that goes. So that goes there in the back of that one over there. So what I do is I'll have that over there too. It actually goes next to Shaft on this side. So actually tell you the truth, it goes over here. Yeah, it goes over here. Because it goes behind Shaft. And the reason why I do that is because you got Samuel Jackson. I kind of want to keep all my Samuel Jacksons together. So we got Shaft, and then we got Pulp Fiction in the back. Con Air. We have Nicolas Cage and Desperado, Scarface. All of my kind of like kick-ass types already together. I thought that would be a better way to come into the series as watching it like that. Or coming into setting up the collection, in that particular order. All right, so now we know we have Backdraft has to come out. So now we have Backdraft over here. Backdraft will go over here because it's more action too. So we'll put Backdraft there. See, it's all about just organizing it. So now we're on this section right here, working on that middle section right there. So we have Forgetting About Paris. I haven't seen that one yet, so I have to review this one again a little bit. And The Wedding Princess also goes downstairs. And then this one also right here goes over into this section over here. So what it does is it goes next to Poetic Justice. That's more the black sentiment too. Actually, it goes next to Love and Basketball. But those three can kind of stay together. And then you got Caught Up, Set It Off, Basketball Wild, Sparkle. So you have your little drama type section of type organization like that. I kind of keep them like that going on. Okay, and now we're gonna go over here and pick from this one. We have now Up Close and Personal with Michelle Pfeiffer and Wisconsin. That goes where this goes right here. So yeah, and then let's screen condition. Ready to go. I know this is a long live, guys. I know you guys is really going through this. But we have a lot to get into, and I kind of don't want to make it really with time, but dealing with mostly my collection here like this, it's like you have to kind of like really take your time with it. So in this one right here also, Hearts and Souls are going to be going downstairs too also, so I'll put that in that pile right there. And then also Sleepless Nights to also Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. That also goes over here in this section right there. So as you can see now, you see how the titles are coming along. Pretty good. And we're working our way down the list of getting them in Home Alone. You know, so I'm looking for Home Alone 1, 2 also, but I know, okay, I got it. I see where it is now. So we'll slide that down. And then we'll bring in some other things too also over here like this. So we're getting organized, getting things together. So this is that Home Alone 1. So we have Home Alone 1. And then we also have Home Alone 2. So you know where these two go at. So number 1, well, I'll put number 1 first. This is the way it is. It's pretty cool. All right, so it's going to go over here in this section over here. So we have Home Alone 1. Okay, and then we have Home Alone 2. Okay, already set up there, and then nice. This was working out pretty good. All right, so next up we have. Still thinking about this one too. Also forgetting about prayer. So what I do is I'll put it in this section over here because it definitely sounds like a drama. So I'll put it in that section there. Then also we have the 5 Heartbeats, which you also know is going next to Fame, which is also another one of my classics too. Also beautifully done. Oh, sorry about that. 5 Heartbeats. So Fox. Yeah, like I said, they were bringing them out, man. They were, you know, they weren't playing at all when it came to, you know, when I was starting to grab media off the shelf. I was just grabbing them and then moving them across because they were coming out pretty good. So we have the 5 Heartbeats next to Grease and Fame. It'll be like more like that shelf for like that drama type of situation going on there. Okay, so see how that section looks? Looks pretty badass, doesn't it? All right. Not bad at all. All right, so Jack, we did it. Loving it. We'll keep that there for just a second. Also, a nice concealed copy of Clint Eastwood, True Crimes. It's another one of those ones that's kind of like, you know, more weird. So that goes over here in the action section. Oh, and I haven't unopened that. I mean, I haven't opened that one too also at all. So that's be a pleasure just watching that. Because I definitely didn't see it. Looking pretty good so far, lining up. Okay, now I wanted to show you guys something before else I moved on. Well, I'll just grab more. This one over here. Okay, the bird cage. I'll show you guys what that is. I have not seen this at all. Okay, so we know what that is kind of like about. So what we do is we put that oh, it's a comedy. The funniest comedy. Okay. All right, so that's easy peasy, right? So we know where the comedy goes. It goes over here in the comedy section. Okay, so now we're moving on. I'll take that down for just a second. All right, so we know this is definitely a comedy. Robin Williams. It's funny. Patch Adams. It's going over here in this section here. Okay. And then also, Dracula Dead and Love It is also a comedy too. I'm starting to remember now just a little bit of that too also, which is pretty cool. Also, the Warren picture release. They had this in a lot of bins too also, but I remember having this very one too from Ames, getting this. So it goes over in the comedy section. Comedy's getting kind of thick over there. All right, so we're still moving across, grabbing, of course. So I'll say those two for the rendition. Okay, so we know that Soul Food and all of them is going to be another one too. Also, Soul Food is going to go down here. Actually goes at the top. Let me move this out too because I believe I have another wallet back there. Let me move that out. Actually, so Soul Food will go there. On the back right there. All right, so we are moving along, guys, very, very quickly. We got our pile that goes downstairs, and we got our pile that moves across. Okay, so now we have Shot in the Heart. Haven't seen this one yet, too. Also, this is also sealed. to show you guys a little bit of the feature. I haven't seen that at all. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put it inside of the features over there to let me know that that's one of the ones that's gonna be like a drama. Probably look like, because it looks like it's gonna be probably a drama. Let me move this up to the line. So it's gonna go in that section right there. Okay. All right, so we're moving our way up. Okay, so we have the other sister, Diane Keaton. You know, that's going to be a drama too also. And they give it 4 stars. Because usually when they give something 4 stars, it's usually a drama. So I had a collection of them, but I just didn't never watch all of them. So I don't really remember where they were. But I was just grabbing them too also because, like I said, I'm a huge fan of Diane Keaton. And Tom Skerritt is also my favorite friend. I love that too also. So that's definitely one of the ones that goes over here. So you got 2 of my favorite stars all both together. So they had to have been like grouped together. Especially right after coming out of Fatal Attraction and Pretty Woman, Julie Roberts. I usually try to keep those 2 together. All right, so we have Down with the Delta, which goes over here in this section over there too also. And this is also a sealed copy too also of that. So that goes over in this section right here. Coming along pretty good, this section. Coming along pretty good. All right, so we are working our way down. All right, so Wild Wild West actually is going to go to over there too also, but I'll have it set up to where it's going to go in a different section. Maybe over in the middle side, I have room for that. So we'll see. So I'll just put it over here for now in the second pile. Next up, we have First Wives, Bette Midler, Goldie Hawn, and Diane Keaton again, because I'm a huge fan of Diane Keaton. Okay, original, Paramount. You can see the faded too also. It has survived out of the mist of having some moisture, but it survived. All right, so they're going to go down here. So what we'll do is we have to move those up. We have to move those bags up. That's in the back. And Diane Keaton and Bette Midler will go down in the back. There. Okay, so now that section is coming together pretty good. All right, so now we're going to go this side. Meet the Parents also. Another like drama type of comedy action thing too. Also, I believe Robert De Niro and Ben Stiller too also, which is another kind of like favorite, which is kind of like another drama type action type. So that goes over here. I also do have Little Fockers. They're downstairs on my other one. All right, Jerry Maguire as Tom Cruise and all that stuff goes over here on that section to go downstairs. The Ghost also goes downstairs on that section there. And then also we have Julie Roberts. I told you I was a Julie Roberts fan. Next to that. And this is a pristine collection. But, and you know where she goes at, so that means somebody has to come out and be moved. All right, so what we do is we take out Sleepless Nights and have Sleepless Nights here in the back. And then move that down. There you go, so. Just bringing them up to the line, guys. All right, so next to Pretty Woman, because that's Julia Roberts, we have nice and set up that way. Imitation Fly, Color Purple, Time to Kill. So everything is pretty much coming into the collection, guys. So we have our Julia Roberts set up already, lined up and looking pretty badass. And the one that was on the end was the one to also forgot Paris. So I do is I move that to the back. And that means that that's the back here. I didn't get a chance to see it, so that way I know where they are. So I can say, oh, I really now can see it. I can watch it. Okay, so also we have Sandra Bullock and Bill Putman, who also was another good mentor right here, While You Were Sleeping, which is also another drama too. I didn't get a chance to actually check this out to see it, but I'm quite sure it's going to be another one too also. That one goes there too also. While you were sleeping. Actually, it's supposed to go in the back. Yeah, I forgot because I didn't get a chance to watch that yet. Also, so, oh yeah, I mean, Bad Boys. Bad Boys actually go over here next to this one right there. So that goes right there. So basically what I do is I'll put it next to Wild Wild West and Western Karma. I'll move them two together since I have them two and put them over here. So we have Bad Boys. All right. And then we have Wild Wild West both together too also. That could go more in that section right there with Set It Off type stuff like that. So it's more like action too. Plus with a little bit of stuff involved with making it more, to the 10th power. And then drama, what we do is we can add some things moved around. So what we do is we take out some more drama. Yeah, so everything's ready to go for that. All right, so now we are on this one right here. The air up there goes over here. That's mostly going downstairs type stuff. And this moves over here. So actually I move this back up there like that. Getting that ready to go for on the show. And then we also have 30 going on something. Of course, you know it. Mr. Jennifer Gardner. Of course, you know drama, of course. Beautifully done. And she goes... going on, she goes in the back. I'm sorry. Yeah, she goes in the back. All right, Stigma. I haven't seen yet. Well, I have seen it yet, but it was like I have to really get back into it again, and I'm really gonna check it out to find out what's really going on with this feature, and really have it really set up to where I can put it in to categories. So for right now, it goes over on the side of this side here to see what I'm gonna be doing with that. Also, you have Waiting to Exhale too also, which is, starring all the girls. So basically, I will put them over here because that would go with like the sparkle section and stuff like that. And then also, Sister Act will go there too. Well, actually, Sister Act is more the common. So Sister Act will go up here. Sister Act 1 and Sister Act 2, since Whoopi Goldberg is a comedy girl. So we'll move her up there. Next section is done. All right, so we'll see where that goes. And then also we have, getting down to the end of the stack, guys, we have Return to Paradise, which is also another good thriller too also, but it's actually a drama too, action thriller too also. So we'll put that there, right here in the drama section. All right, also we have next up in the Line of Fire. This also goes in that section where it's like more action type stuff like that. Since it's Clint Eastwood, and it's going to go over next to this section over here. Because in that section, you got just about everybody's over there. Connie Air, you got Bruce Willis, Samuel Jackson. So they got to go over there in that section there. Haven't seen this one yet. To also when we were colored. So what happened was that this seemed like it's going to be a drama to also. Beautifully done to also as label. So what we do is we move that over into drama when we were colored, because why? Color purple is over here. And this is the drama section. Okay. So we're getting down to the cream of the crop, guys. That's going to end this video after this. A Walk Around Clouds, Keanu Reeves. To also, haven't seen this yet to also, but it looks like it's going to be like a drama type series to also. So I'll be able to get the chance to watch that too also. So I have that put in to this section right here. Let me move this over. I'll be taking those out in the back too. I'm getting everything in. So it's looking pretty organized, guys, so far. We're having everything already organized, going over everything now. And then I will be wrapping this video up. So it seems like it's going to be a lot of nostalgia going on here, isn't it? Okay, so the piano lesson, I haven't really figured out what was going on with that yet. So I'll move that downstairs. And then also, we have The Best Man. Of course, you know where that's going to go at. It's going to go over in here in this section too, because we have Waiting to Exhale in that very same section. So that goes there. Okay. Along with Love and Basketball, Players Club. I always try to keep those two together too also. Usually my theme documentaries type shit that's going on there. Okay, The Witches of Eastwick is another one too also. Looks like it's going to be one of those ones too. So what I do is I'll move that into a category and have her on the setup. So these will be the one that's going on there. Okay, The Philadelphia, where Denzel Washington and Tom Hanks. We know where that goes at. It's going to go in that section where the drama section is going to be going at too also. So we move that there. Okay. That's Sabrina. I don't really know too much of this one too also, but we have Harrison Ford, Julia... what's her name? Okay, Demons and Greg. So I believe this is a drama too also. Yeah, so we'll move that over in the drama section. Sabrina. Because we have Pretty Woman over here. And if I had Working Girls will be right in this section right here as a drama. Okay, so now we're going over to, so we know where those two go. These two are going to Riddick and Wisconsin. They're going to go over here. Riddick is going here. And both of the two Riddick there too. And Pitch Black. I'm going to the action section right there. And I'll move those vaults out of the way. All those envelopes that I do have, I'll move all those out of the way to make room for features. All right. And then these also come out. I'm just taking out the wallets, guys. Inside of each wallet, there's movies too also there. It's on the back, so, but I got it. Okay. So yeah. All right, so there I got my wallets out. All these are containing CDs too, also that I had put in there too, also, so they'll be pretty much able to move out and be put back into another jar. So those are all ready to go. Those are all full of movies, and then the vault will be separate. So yeah, so all we have is a few that to put back into the category. So what we do is we'll do Joyride and Face Off. This is like the action one. And the reason why is, guys, because we have Bruce Willis over here. And anytime you have Bruce Willis, he always go on an adventure. So what I do is I'll put Joyride over here. Okay. And I'll put Jeepers Creepers there too also. Okay. All right. And then Witches of Eastwick would to also be more on that type of side too also. So it's like more like an adventure type going on. So we'll see. And it's going to contain, I believe this is a... So, yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh, she definitely goes over here. Okay, because we'll keep her with Demi Moore in that section. All right, so guys, so we have Brewster's Place, which is also another one classic series, like series that used to come on TV. So we have that already ready to go to also. Okay, so we have that up next and two, and then what I wanted to show you guys was before I go ahead and end this video, the Misery collection, and what this is basically. It's like, it's their tapes. So that's the box right there. So I'll move that Bruce's out of the way to figure out what that is about. And then you have the tapes. These are the two ones that it is, Stephen King itself. And then they have all the tapes are inside. And I had that collection too also. It's from the Misery collection. And yeah, that was pretty badass of how that happened. And I actually just kept it. So there's all the tapes, you know, to the entire collection as a showpiece. Yep. And then, of course, you know it, next to my Pam Grier, what's come up there, this goes up there. So I'll move that little bit across. So bring that up, bring this up. And then we'll have our Mel Gibson just set right there just for now. And then we'll have our Good Times set like that for now. And I'll move it out to the front a little bit. And I'll move all these jackets out of the way for my final thought shot. And there it is, guys. All of the media put away on the shelf, and I made room to also for others that are coming in too. Also, guys, thank y'all for checking me out. I'll do a slow pan, and we are out of here, guys. Thank y'all for checking out my nostalgia of how I have everything all set up. And waiting on more stuff to come in. As they do, I will put them in order and move things around again as it's coming in. But yeah, it's all put together nicely. And I'm glad y'all guys took the time to kind of ride with me on this collection nostalgia of my VHS surviving collection. And I have everything all put together now. So at the top, we are still running Star Trek for our outro shot. I just want to thank y'all guys for checking me out. And don't forget to support more of Popcorn and Gore. Thank y'all guys for my new subscribers. Thank y'all guys for checking me out. And for the final thought. So yeah, guys, this will be the final thought shot showing y'all all of what I have already set up already right here. And I'll go ahead on and end this video. Thank y'all guys for all checking me out. And feel free to check out other videos that I do also have up on my page already. Feel free to check me out on Facebook at Turf in the Basement. And thank y'all for my new collectors. And everything looks pretty badass on this particular shot. Thank y'all guys for joining me on my Nostalgia VHS Surviving Collection. Thank y'all guys, and peace.